Chapter 1665. That day, a group of people stayed in her courtyard until very late. She only came back when Liang Wuming told her that she needed to rest more. In any case, she wouldn't be leaving anytime soon. Everyone thought about it and agreed. Only then did they leave reluctantly. Sima Yue let Shimin Feng, Bei Gongtang and the others stay behind. Feng, or have you talked to Xiang Yi yet? When will they get married? How are the preparations for the betrothal gifts coming along? Now that there were fewer people, she led them into the drawing room. The betrothal gifts have been prepared a long time ago. We were just waiting for you to come back and set the date. She will also come over tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. At that time, we will set the date together. When Shimin Feng spoke of Kong Sangyi, the tenderness on his face couldn't be concealed. That's good. You've all waited for so many years. Recently, the continent has been rather chaotic. The sooner you can get married, the sooner you can. Sima Yue said. Let's go look for them tomorrow and pick a few good dates when Xiang Yi comes. Okay. Shimin Feng also wanted to get married as soon as possible, so he had no objection to her proposal. As for the invitations, you can send them out once the date is confirmed. We can't be too tight on time. We have to give them some time to come over. Sima Yue urged. If we can use this matter to get closer to other forces, we will have an extra layer of protection in the future. Yue, you said that the continent is more chaotic. Are you talking about the black-robed men? Wei Ziki asked. More than that. Sima Yue said. The men in black are one of them, but their main area of activity is the central region. There are fewer people in the inner region. Right now, the most troublesome thing is the undead and the qi spirits. Undead and qi spirit? Yes. Sima Yue explained the matter of the undead and the qi spirits in detail. Then she said, although the qi spirits don't happen many times, once it starts, I'm afraid it will spread to the central region. As for the undead, it has already spread to the central region. Everyone's brows furrowed. Furthermore, the whereabouts of the demonic sword sky splitter are unknown, and many forces have been implicated because of suspicion. In addition, with the birth of the primordial divine beast, there will be many conflicts later on. Sima Yue added, not to mention the power and turf wars caused by these things. I have never heard of so many things before. It seems this world is really going to be chaotic. Shimin Feng sighed. What's wrong? Sima Yue felt that something was amiss. Shimin Feng thought about it and decided to tell her what he knew. Because of Wu Lingyu, I pay more attention to the devil realm. He glanced at Sima Yue, afraid that she would be angry. Seeing that her expression did not change, he continued, although I don't know what exactly happened over there. It has been very turbulent over there recently. There have been many big battles and countless casualties. Sima Yue fell silent for a moment before replying. Lingyu has gone to the devil realm, and the matter between him and the devil king has been brought to light. I see. Shimin Feng knew about some things between Wu Lingyu and the devil king. At first, he guessed that it had something to do with him. Now that he had confirmed it, his heart calmed down. Also, the ghost realm seems to be in troubled times. There are endless battles. The human devil and devil realms are all in turmoil. It seems like this world is going to be cleansed. Ouyang Fei frowned. This is just the beginning. I don't know what will happen in the future. In this kind of situation, it is impossible to stay out of it. Bei Gongtang was also a little worried. We can't stop these things from happening, so the only thing we can do now is to increase our strength. We will have more protection in this chaotic world. Sima Yue said, have you all contracted the primordial divine beasts that I gave you the last time? You were the one who lectured me, right? Once I contracted them, my strength increased by leaps and bounds. Fatty Chu chuckled. If there are more of these divine beasts in the future, I won't be afraid of being last place. You're always thinking of taking shortcuts. Bei Gongtang glared at him. Haha, I'm just worried. My strength is too low. What if I drag you down? Fatty Chu said. Stop it. Your talent is not lower than ours. You were just lazy in the past. Wei Ziqi bluntly exposed him. Now it's barely passable. I don't have that. Fatty Chu protested softly. It's not too late to change now. Sima Yue looked at Fatty Chu's aggrieved look and smiled. You like to refine weapons. In the future, refine more offensive and defensive weapons. This can also be considered as increasing your strength. As for the other things, you can put them aside for now. I think so too. I'll use the remaining time to cultivate. Did you use the Thunderbolt bullets that I gave you the last time? I used them. And I'm not the only one who used them. Sima Yue told them about how they used the Thunderbolt bullets to turn the small island and the Hao clan into ruins. Seeing that everyone was looking at her, she asked, What's wrong? Your senior brothers are right. Wei Ziqi said. Things will happen no matter where you go. If we follow you, we'll definitely encounter something thrilling. It's a pity that we're too weak now. We've only just reached the monarch rank after contracting an ancient spirit beast. We can't go with you. Bei Gongtang said regretfully. You've all reached the monarch rank. Sima Yue did not pay attention to their strength. Looking closely, she nodded happily. Your strength has increased very quickly. Although Fatty Chu is still at the bottom, he's already entered the monarch rank. It's much faster than what I expected. Compared to you, it's not fast. Wei Ziqi said. When we were young, our strength was about the same. Now you're a few levels ahead of us. I'm also still a monarch rank. Sima Yue said. She was just a few levels higher than them. Most people at our age don't have our strength. So you don't have to be unhappy. That's true. Let's not talk about the lower continents. Even in the primordial lands, there were very few people who advanced to the monarch rank when they were over 100 years old. There were almost none like them who entered the monarch rank when they were 60 or 70 years old. So their talents were also very good. It was just that with Sima Yue in front of them, they always felt that they were too far behind. So they never realized this. But as you said, we still have to increase our strength now. Otherwise, when chaos comes, it'll be hard to keep our lives. Ouyang Fei said. You're all professional masters. Bring more life-saving things with you. Sima Yue thought about it, and took out a pile of things to give them. These were all good things that she had plundered from the Hao family. On the second day, Shimin Feng chose a few days. A few days later, Kong Xingyi arrived at Heartbreak Valley. The three of them gathered together, and muttered for a long time. Finally, they decided on a date. In order to give others enough time, the wedding date was set to 9 months later. Once the wedding date was set, Sima Yue and the others started to prepare the invitation, and sent people to deliver it. Soon, the news of Shimenfeng's wedding spread throughout the outer, middle and inner regions. Everyone who received the invitation said they would go. Stop Show 7. Chapter 1666. Please wait for a moment. After the content has been updated, please refresh the page to get the latest update. Chapter 1667. Please wait for a moment. After the content is updated, please refresh the page to get the latest update. Chapter 1668. Please wait for a moment. After the content is updated, please refresh the page to get the latest update. Chapter 1669. Shimin Li carried Little Roar and left happily. Seeing her like this, Shimin Feng helplessly shook his head. She has to grow up on her own, Sima Yue comforted him. There's a limit to what we can give her. She has to walk her own path. I know. But I didn't expect it to be so fast, Shimin Feng said. It doesn't matter if she leaves sooner or later, Sima Yue said. I will get Qi Yan to instruct the other bird clans to pay attention to her safety. However, unless their lives were in danger, they wouldn't make a move. Just send some more people to protect her in secret. After your marriage, I think most people won't be blind enough to offend Paramount Valley. I will also ask the Kong Valley to pay attention, Kong Xingyi said. All right. You're also Li Er's sister-in-law now, so we won't be polite. Sima Yue nodded. Martial uncle said that Feng doesn't have to deal with the matters in the valley these few days. If you have time, you can bring Xiangyi around or go out for a walk. It's like a honeymoon. After saying that, he looked at Kong Xingyi's stomach meaningfully. Kong Xingyi blushed instantly. I'm going back to rest. You two can go and do whatever you want, Sima Yue said and turned to leave their courtyard, leaving the two of them staring at each other. Sima Yue didn't return to her own courtyard. She knew that Su Jin and the others hadn't returned yet, so she went to their place. Along the way, she met Great Master Ji and the child. The two of them were planning to catch a few poisonous insects for research. When they saw her, they even greeted her with a smile. Sima Yue hadn't seen Great Master Ji since he arrived. She had asked him about his situation a few times, but he always said that he would run into the valley every day and that all the poisonous creatures would hide when they saw him. Great Master Ji, the environment here is not as good as the Lost Lands. Are you used to living here? She asked with a smile. How is it not better than the Lost Lands? It was much better here than there. Many of the poisons are unique to this place. I've never seen them before. Great Master Ji was in a good mood. Hee, you really didn't lie to me. This place is indeed more suitable for me to live. As long as you're happy. After all, the poisons that he developed would benefit Paramount Valley. But if you're going to look for poisonous creatures, it's best not to bring the baby along. The valley is still very dangerous. You're right. Help me bring him back. Great Master Ji patted the child's head, and the child obediently went to Sima Yu's side. He went to the depths of Heartbreak Valley. Let's go. Sima Yue brought the child and sent him back before going to meet Su Jin and the others. In the guest courtyard, Su Jin, Mao Sengquan, Gulang, and Fan Lei had all come. She had left behind more than 2 or 3 antidote pills, because she had foreseen this outcome. In the courtyard, they were talking to Ouyang Fei and the others. The moment she entered, they stopped. Master, Teacher Gu, Director Fan, Director Mao. She bowed to them. You finally woke up. I've never seen you drink wine like this. Jiang Junxian said. His words had a faint concern. Aren't I happy? Sima Yue smiled. When you and senior sister get married, I definitely won't drink so much. I have to stay sober and disturb your bridal chamber. Little junior sister. What are you talking about? Han Miaoshuang glared at her. It was rare for her to be shy. Isn't this what you said? You'll get married once you find master. Sima Yue blinked. Did I remember wrongly? Xiao, you've heard of it too, right? They did say that. Su Xiao nodded honestly. You guys. Han Miaoshuang stretched out her hand to hit Su Xiao. She was very embarrassed. Jun Xian has already told me about this. Since you guys have already discussed it, Master won't say anything more. You guys can find a date to do it. Su Jin said. You guys can imagine how grand a wedding I'll make for you. I won't do something as tiring as Yue. This round was too tiring. They looked at Yue and felt tired. We don't want to make it so troublesome. We just want Master to be our witness. Jiang Junxian replied. He actually wanted to hold a wedding. Han Miaoshuang looked at Shimen Feng and Kong Sengyi's wedding with envy. Although he couldn't give her such a wedding, he could give her a simple and original wedding. But Han Miaoshuang didn't agree. Although she envied Kong Sengyi, she knew that not everyone could have it. She just wanted to be with Jiang Junxian in a simple way. We still have to have a wedding. If you don't want to invite those people, you can't leave out your family and friends. Sima Yue said. How about this? We'll hold a small wedding. Leave these things to the valley to prepare. You guys just have to wait patiently for the wedding. How long will it take? Fan Lei asked. The few old guys were already out. It wouldn't be good if there was no one watching over the sect. If you don't invite other guests, it'll take a few days. Do you guys want it? I just need to invite Qiu Shuang and Qianji. As for the Jiang family, forget it. I just need you guys to be here. Han Miaoshuang was also chased out by her family. She didn't contact her family at all. Qiu Shuang and Qianji are in the valley. Then we don't have to wait for guests. 10 days. 10 days should be enough. Sima Yue estimated the time and felt that it was about time. Anyway, everyone is here. We'll just keep everything simple. Han Miaoshuang had no objections. Then we'll have to trouble you, junior sister. Jiang Junxian looked at Sima Yue gratefully. There's no need to be so polite between us. Sima Yue said. All right, you two just wait patiently. Bei Gong, come with me to arrange it. Okay. I like this kind of thing. Bei Gongtang smiled and replied. Sima Yue stared at her. You're so interested. Do you want to get married too? Go away. I won't marry even if you do. Bei Gongtang reached out to tickle her. Is that so? Ouyang, what do you think? Sima Yue dodged while asking Ouyang Fei. Why are you asking that idiot about my matters? Bei Gongtang was furious. Since when did Ouyang have the nickname of idiot? Is it unique to you? Sima Yue dodged her and ran outside. Bei Gongtang chased after her. Idiot? Good Ouyang, you didn't even tell us when you had something good. Wei Ziqi and Fatty Chu chased after Ouyang Fei. The two of them were too good at keeping secrets. If Sima Yue didn't say it, they wouldn't even know. Ouyang Fei's figure flashed and distanced himself from the two of them. He said coldly, you guys didn't realize it yourselves. You're not observant enough. Don't you think these words are asking for a beating? Fatty Chu asked. Yeah, they're really asking for a beating. Wei Ziqi replied. So the two of them chased after him. Chapter 1670. There were only a few more days before the wedding. Han Miaoshuang suddenly felt a little nervous. However, Sima Yue did not tell her anything. She did not even tell the people from Paramount Valley. She felt anxious waiting like this. Sima Yue said that this was premarital anxiety. She would be fine as long as she found something to do, such as making something for Jiang Junxian. For example, undergarments for newlyweds. Thus she, who had never held a needle and thread before, went to the textile hall to learn how to make clothes. Du Sanyang had always been in charge of the textile hall. Knowing that she wanted to learn, Du Sanyang found a few embroiderers to teach her. Finally, her impetuous heart calmed down. On Sima Yue's side, everything was going on like a raging fire. She was decorating the wedding venue and purchasing the necessary items. Sima Yue even asked Fatty Chu to refine tools for making multi-layered cakes. Luckily, Shimen Feng had prepared a lot of things for the wedding. There were still a lot of useless things left. Sima Yue used those things to decorate a very modern wedding scene. She also took Han Miaoshuang's measurements and made a wedding dress for her. The wedding dress was personally designed by her, and it was very different from the modern phoenix coronets and robes. Fortunately, the embroiderers had good embroidery skills, and they quickly understood what she meant, and began to work according to her request. Fatty Chu and the rest were fine and wanted to help, but were chased away by Sima Yue, saying that they were in the way. Every day, when they saw her running around with Bei Gongtang and the others, they were all curious as to what kind of wedding she would hold. But this time, she rejected all the men's participation, and those who helped would not tell them. And the only man who knew, Jiang Junxian, would not reveal a word about the wedding. He only said that they would know when the time came. The more this was the case, the more curious those people became. Towards the end, all the Paramount Valley disciples were looking forward to it. The Vice Valley Lord rarely did anything, but what she did wasn't bad. Amidst everyone's anticipation, the wedding day finally arrived. Sima Yue had made it clear to the people in the valley the day before that they could watch from both sides of the valley, but they were not allowed to cause any trouble. Those with status in the valley had all received invitations and reserved seats for them. Hence, on the morning of the wedding, the people of Paramount Valley surrounded both sides of the valley. When they saw that the valley was decorated like a sea of flowers, everyone thought that they had entered a fairyland. On both sides of the canyon, they had arranged many purplish-blue gauze. Some were casually tied to tree branches, and some were hung on both sides of the cliff. When the wind blew, the sky became a purplish-blue ocean. There was an open space in the middle of the sea of flowers. Hundreds of pure white chairs were placed in the open space, and there was a wide walkway in the middle. The walkway was covered with petals of various colors. One end of the walkway was connected to an arch made of flower vines, and the other end was a small platform. On the platform was a simple stone platform, and behind the small platform was a huge oil painting of the sea and sky. On the beach, there were two figures holding hands. Oh my God, this is too dreamy. The disciples in the valley were stunned by this scene. In modern times, this might just be an ordinary wedding venue, but in this place, it was unique. I wonder what the bride will be like. I think she's definitely different from other brides. Just by looking at this arrangement, I know it's definitely different. Once the Vice Valley Lord makes his move, we'll know. Then let's wait, the bride should be here soon. When it was time for the wedding, the people who received the invitation gradually entered the venue and sat according to the seat number on the invitation. At this moment, the sound of music began to play. This music was different from the past, and it made people feel joyous. Only then did everyone notice the women in light purple dresses standing around the venue. Each of them held a sound stone in their hands and injected spiritual power into it at the same time. They played the same music at the same time, and the music was loud and clear. Seeing this strange arrangement, everyone was curious. Feng, what's your sister doing? Liang Wuming and Shimin Feng sat together and asked. I don't know either. Shimin Feng was also curious. Oh, she's your sister, and Xiangyi went to help too. Didn't they tell you? Liang Wuming was curious. No. They said they wanted to keep it a secret, and they can't even tell me. Shimin Feng was also helpless. It was fine if others didn't tell him, but the person who slept next to him didn't even tell him. Your sister has a lot of ideas in her head. Liang Wuming laughed. This is the first time I've seen such a unique wedding, and now I'm curious about the newlyweds. I'm curious too. Shimin Feng laughed and replied. And the bride that everyone was looking forward to was looking at the wedding dress in front of her, and the corner of her mouth kept twitching. Little junior sister, are you sure this is a wedding dress for me? She reached out and twirled the gauze. It was really embarrassing. Senior sister, I personally designed this for you, and made the embroiderer stay up for a few days and nights to make this wedding dress for you. Sima Yue put her hands on her hips, and looked like she was going to hit her if she didn't wear it. Isn't this too revealing? Han Miaoshuang still didn't want to. It's not revealing, it's not revealing. This is already the most conservative one I designed for you. Not much flesh is exposed. Sima Yue said. Wait until you wear it, then you'll know the effect. Bei Gongtang smiled and explained. Sister Miaoshuang, we've seen this wedding dress before. It won't be revealing when you wear it. Don't worry. Compared to Sima Yue, Han Miaoshuang trusted Bei Gongtang more. And after hearing her words, she unwillingly changed into the wedding dress. When she was done, Sima Yue brought her in front of the mirror, and even she was a little stunned. In the mirror, she saw a purplish-blue close-fitting long dress that outlined her mesmerizing curves, and the right side of her thighs were wrinkled layer by layer, making her enchanting yet dreamy like a princess. The dress was inlaid with fine diamonds, and under the sunlight, it reflected fine rays of light. Everyone's breathing slowed, afraid to break this beautiful image. I originally wanted to use white, because I like white the most for wedding dresses. But in the end, I still chose your favorite purplish blue. Sima Yue said. How is it? My design isn't bad, right? It's nice. Han Miaoshuang smiled and nodded. It's just that this arm doesn't have a sleeve, it feels weird. There's this. Sima Yue took a pair of lace gloves from the side and put it on for her, leaving only a small part below her shoulder. And this. Sima Yue waved the veil in her hand. You can only wear this after your hair is done. I'll do your hair first. She quickly combed Han Miaoshuang's hair into a bridal hairstyle, and then put the veil on. The front was short, and it reached her chest, and the back was long, and dragged to the ground, together with the back of the wedding dress. This way it won't be revealing. All right, the bride is dressed. Let's change to the wedding. Sima Yue looked at the stunning bride with satisfaction, and thought that her hands were really good. Chapter 1671. Please wait for a moment. After the content has been updated, please refresh the page to get the latest update. Chapter 1672. Sima Yue saw him like this and knew that it was not a small matter. She did not delay and asked Bei Gongtang to call Mao Sanquan, Fan Lei and the others. She also called Shimin Feng and Liang Wuming, and returned to the guest house where they lived. They did not talk about the undead along the way as they were afraid that people would hear and cause unnecessary panic. Instead, they talked about other things. When they returned to the courtyard, Sima Yue casually set up a barrier. Mao Sanquan asked, "What happened?" "Director Mao, A town was massacred this time. Wang Ximiao said. And we also received news that the next town is nearby. Massacred a town? They actually massacred a town again. Sima Yue frowned. It seems that they urgently need blood. Why? Are you sure that the next town is nearby? Liang Wuming asked. I can't be sure. It's just that when those people left, they said that Paramount Valley was very lively. Did they want to join in the fun? They even said that Yue had returned. Based on their recent actions, they might have designs on this place. Wang Ximing guessed. Yue, do you have a grudge against them? Goleng asked. Sort of. I have some grudges with the Yang family. Sima Yue told him about what happened between her and Yang Shi, including how she killed people and threw them in the desert. She also participated in the Spirit Stone Convention and obtained so many undead from the Yang family. It seems that the Yang family still doesn't know that you know about the undead. If they're targeting you, it should be to avenge Yang Shi. Mao Sanquan said. Although they don't have evidence, I did kill them. According to the nature of these big powers, even if they don't have evidence, they will definitely push the blame onto me. Feng Er's wedding this time is so big. It's normal for it to attract their attention. Sima Yue was not surprised by the Yang family's actions. Anyway, if she did not die, they would not give up on her. It was just that she did not know what they were going to do. Those big families really like to do this kind of thing. Su Jin sneered, looking down on them. Si Miao, continue to investigate the Yang family and Northern Du family. If there's any news, send a copy to Yue. Mao Sanquan said. Okay. Feng Er, we also need to take action. Since they dared to come to our territory, we can't let them leave so easily. Liang Wuming said to Shimen Feng. That's exactly what I was thinking. Shimen Feng's face was also very ugly. Daring to have ideas about his sister, he really didn't want to live anymore. It's not that easy. Sima Yue poured cold water on everyone. Why? When I was in the ancient mine, I was a little puzzled. When I first met the Yang family, I didn't feel the aura of the undead. Why did the undead appear later? After the incident with Du Haonan, I finally understood that they had placed the corpses in their spatial rings. Sima Yue said. The space ring is able to isolate the aura of death. Even if you're beside that person, you won't know that he has corpses. Corpses didn't have life and didn't need to breathe, so they could be stored in spatial rings. When she first discovered this, she even used a few corpses as an experiment. In the end, her guess was completely right. In this way, it is indeed difficult to find their tracks. If we want to find them, we'll definitely be able to find some clues. Shimen Feng said. We just have to send more people. That would be a waste of manpower and resources. Sima Yue didn't agree. I have an idea. What idea? Aren't they coming for me? Then I'll let them come for me. Sima Yue said. You want to use yourself as bait? Yes. No. A few voices sounded in the room at the same time. Shimen Feng and Su Jin didn't agree. It's too dangerous for you to go out. Mao Sanquan didn't agree either. Don't worry, I'm confident. Sima Yue said. No matter how many undead he has, he can't do anything to me. He can't even get close to me. That still won't do. Shimen Feng still didn't agree. Feng, the ghost aura in my body, Crimson Flame's flame and lightning calamity are the nemesis of those undead. So the only ones that can harm me are the living ones. I didn't say that I won't bring anyone with me, right? Sima Yue persuaded. If they're already here and we don't get rid of them early, I'm afraid that a lot of innocent people will be implicated. You don't want to see a massacre in the city, right? But I'll bring more people with me when the time comes. Sima Yue said. Shimen Feng knew that she had made a decision, so he could only remain silent. What do you plan to do? It's very simple. A few days later, Sima Yue left Heartbreak Valley and announced that she was going to visit the Qin clan. She and Qin Emo were good friends, so everyone thought that she was invited by the Qin clan. However, Qin Emo didn't return to the Qin clan. He was still handling things near Heartbreak Valley. When he knew that she came to find him, he was a little surprised and quickly received her. Qin Emo, I'm here to ask for your help. Sima Yue said this when she saw him, which shocked Chinemo. What's wrong? Nothing, I just want to ask you to play with me and go shopping, Sima Yue said with a smile. All right. For the next few days, Chinemo put down the things at hand and accompanied Sima Yue to shop in the city. They bought things and ate delicacies. They were very relaxed. After playing for a while, she took her leave and slowly returned to Heartbreak Valley with her maidservant, Enlei. Enlei, are you afraid? Sima Yue asked. Enlei shook her head. My life was given to me by young mistress. I'm not afraid of anything if I follow young mistress. Didn't you say that you have things to do? After this is over, you can go and do your things, Sima Yue said. Young mistress, I can't do what I want to do now. I want to move my mother's grave out of Eastern Lai clan, but I'm afraid I can't go back now. Enlei said, because I killed Eastern Lai Li? Sima Yue was stunned, then said apologetically, I've implicated you. Young mistress, what are you saying? Following young mistress is the best thing I've done in my life. If my mother knew, she would be happy for me. As for where she is, she shouldn't care that much. Enlei comforted her. When there's a chance later, let's go and retrieve your mother's remains. We've already gone to Xianqiu clan. Why can't we go to Eastern Lai clan? Sima Yue promised. Young mistress. Enlei's eyes were slightly red. We're in trouble now, don't cry at this time. Sima Yue smiled. Chapter 1673. Please wait for a moment. After the content has been updated, please refresh the page to get the latest update. Chapter 1674. Please wait for a moment. After the content has been updated, please refresh the page to get the latest update. Chapter 1675. The Yang family's strength had increased so much that even the alliance of several forces couldn't touch their foundation. Who knew how many corpses they had left behind? Why is this corpse so much stronger than when it was alive? Anayani asked. Death Qi can restrain ordinary spiritual energy. Compared to them, your spiritual techniques are naturally weaker. In addition, when they were being cultivated, some poison was added to them, making them poisonous. The slightest carelessness could cause one to be poisoned to death. Furthermore, the corrosive power of their attacks was strengthened. In addition, they would not feel any pain if they died. As long as they were not cut into pieces, they could continue to attack. Can any of you do something like this, fighting without regard for your own life? You can't do it. You're weaker in this aspect. Sima Yue analyzed. No wonder the Yang clan and Northern Du clan would have the idea of obtaining the undead. With such an advantage, people would definitely be tempted. In addition, all he had to do was kill people, which was much faster than training an expert. Boss, why do you have corpses? How can you still control them? Dai asked. I stole it from the Yang family. Sima Yue said. Damn boss, you're awesome. He was actually able to steal their corpses from the Yang family. How did you steal it? If that's the case, let's go steal their corpses. Dai said with a grin. Sima Yue rolled her eyes at him. If it's so easy to steal, wouldn't the Yang family have done so much for nothing? Then didn't you steal it last time? Speaking of which, boss, how much have you stolen from others? It's not that much, just a few thousand. Sima Yue casually said, but she didn't expect to frighten everyone present. 10,000? Holy sh*t boss, are you going to wipe them all out? Yusi cried out. Ahem, I saw that they took all of them away. Sima Yue touched her nose. No wonder they've been so active recently. It turns out that you've stolen all the corpses they've made. Boss, if you can control so many corpses, then you're the walking king of the dead. King of the dead, your head. Sima Yue slapped Anayanyi's head. These corpses can't be exposed. If others know that I have corpses here, I'll become their public enemy. You idiot. Boss always brings people with him. Why would he need those corpses? Hee, that's true. So stupid. Feng Kai knocked on Anayanyi's head. However, it's not like boss can't use them at all. It's still possible to set up a trap or something. Sima Yue, let's go back. Tell the disciples in the valley to disperse. After Liang Wuming finished speaking, he brought everyone back. Shirchun, take an E to rest. Sima Yu said to Shirchun. Ni and Yi's Yuyue, Sima Yue. As Sima, Sima's and Ni's Sima Yuyue, Sima Yuyue, they Yuyues and they Vate T. When they returned to the conference room, everyone's expression was a little solemn. The battle prowess of the undead made them feel troubled. Don't be like this. Nothing happened. Sima Yue looked at everyone helplessly. The Yang clan is so hard to deal with. You have a grudge with them, and now they're targeting you. We'll have to go against them sooner or later. Shimin Feng said. Sima Yue played an important role in the news of the Yang clan raising corpses. Everyone knew that this was exposed because of her. If it was just a small grudge in the past, then the Yang clan had a deep hatred for her now. They would try to kill her if it was just a small matter. Now that things had developed to this state, how could there be any room for reconciliation? You're thinking too much. Sima Yue laughed and shook her head. If they want to kill me, they can send people over. I have the Feng people to protect me. If it's the corpses, then it's even easier. Why? Dai asked. Because boss is the natural nemesis of those corpses. Feng Kai said. No matter if it's the vermilion bird's flame or the lightning, those corpses don't dare to touch them. Since boss can control those corpses, she must have a way to deal with those corpses. Sima Yue gave him a smart look and said, so you don't have to worry about me. I'm worried that they'll do something to the people in our valley. This was truly a thorny matter. We'll try our best to keep everyone safe. Sima Yue was silent for a while and said, actually, there's a solution to this problem. What idea did you come up with again? Sima Yue. When did she come up with any ideas? How could he describe her good idea like that? Although she was frustrated, she still had to come up with a solution. Actually, it's very simple to solve this problem. We just have to make the Yang clan so busy that they can't take care of us. Don't they have a lot of forces to deal with? If they still have the energy to deal with us, then we'll find them some powerful opponents. Many forces don't care about things that don't concern them. When the time comes, we'll help them find something to do. Anyway, Feng Kai is right. These corpses can't be exposed, but they're suitable for framing others. She smiled slyly. It was indeed a clever idea, but they all liked this idea. This idea isn't bad. If the Yang clan does anything to the valley, then I'll leave the rest to you. Liang Wuming waved his hand and the gloominess on his face disappeared. Although there were already some forces that had their eyes on the Yang clan, but more people chose to wait and see. If this matter had already spread to them, would they still be so calm? Sima Yue's existence was to restrain the Yang clan. That idea of framing was a favorite of everyone. All right. Let me know if anything happens in the valley, Sima Yue said. Also, keep an eye on the academy. Also, get people to keep an eye on the people in the area. If they appear nearby, be careful that they're from the Yang clan. We will. Shimin Feng nodded. Then if there's nothing else, I'll go back first, Sima Yue said. Go on, go on. You're the Vice Valley Lord, yet you don't care about anything else in the valley, Liang Wuming complained. Sima Yue chuckled, bowed and left. She really didn't care about those trivial matters. However, things went as they expected. Not long after, Paramount Valley's people were attacked by the corpses. They managed to delay until the reinforcements arrived, but they still couldn't do anything to the corpses. Instead, the reinforcements were all killed. The Yang clan used this to challenge Paramount Valley. When Sima Yue heard that dozens of her disciples were all killed, she was furious. She took out the inner region's force distribution map and studied it, looking for a target. Chapter 1676. In 3 months, the people in Paramount Valley's inner region had been attacked several times. If it was not for Heartbreak Valley sending experts over, the power that they had accumulated in the inner region over the years would have been destroyed in one day. Liang Wuming personally led his men to the inner region, and Sima Yue followed along. When they reached the headquarters of the inner regions, they saw Bai Sheng and Lu Liangkai. Valley Lord, Vice Valley Lord, why did you come personally? Bai Sheng looked at them in surprise. What's the situation? Sima Yue asked. Not very good. Bai Sheng said, we lost 200 to 300 disciples in 3 months. Those undead are very powerful. We've been very careful, but we still can't stop them. Lu Liangkai sighed. Now we've called back the disciples outside. We'll try our best not to go out. Well, it's good to call him back. Tell everyone not to go out for the next few months. Close the shop too. After 2 months, the Yang clan won't have the energy to care about us. Sima Yue was a little angry and squinted her eyes. Those who knew her well knew that someone was going to be in trouble. What plans do you have? Bai Sheng saw her and his heart was at ease. Sima Yue smiled. You'll know in 2 months. In the next 2 months, corpses appeared in many places in the inner area. Many disciples and clansmen of powerful forces were killed by the corpses. That method was the same as the one used to kill the Paramount Valley disciples. Back then, when the Yang family attacked Paramount Valley, these people knew about it. Sima Yue had caused so much trouble for the Yang family. It was expected that they would seek revenge. Now that they saw the same technique, these people naturally thought that this was the work of the Yang family. In particular, there was a group of people who had escaped and reported back to the sect. The leader of the group was an elder from the Yang family. The sect master was so angry that he smashed the tea table beside him and said hatefully, "We didn't go to deal with the Yang family, but the Yang family actually dared to attack us. Go and invite the elders here." Thus, in the following period of time, the Yang family was suppressed by those big forces until they could not breathe. In just a few months, they lost many people. The strength of the people dispatched by these forces was not something that the disciples of Paramount Valley could compare to. Even if they encountered the undead, they would be annihilated together. Once this matter spread out, it became even more certain that the Yang family had corpses. Some of the factions that had not been framed also joined in, afraid that the Yang family would act first. The pressure that the Yang family was facing became greater and greater. In the end, they had no choice but to leave the 16th prefecture and hide. It had only been a year since Sima Yue returned to the inner region. Sima Yue was quite satisfied with this outcome. The Yang family would not be able to do anything to Paramount for the time being. Boss, your trick of framing is really good. Feng Kai smiled very brightly. Liang Wuming returned to Paramount Valley and asked the 10 brothers to come to the inner region to assist Bai Sheng and Lu Liangkai in restarting the work in the inner region. However, only Boss can use this move. UC continued. If it wasn't for Boss's ability to change her appearance and control the undead, it would be impossible to frame the Yang family. That's why Boss is so powerful. And Ione admired her even more. The Yang family is just hiding. Sima Yue was happy but did not forget about it. I think there will be other forces involved. Other forces? Northern Du clan can make the Yang family do this. Naturally, they can make other clans do the same. The Yang family is not the only one with ambition. Sima Yue guessed. That's right. As long as the source is not destroyed, the issue of the undead will continue. However, at least our crisis has been resolved. This way, they would not be under so much pressure. Success is due to the same person. The Yang family's strength increased greatly because of the undead. However, because of the undead, they had no choice but to hide. Bai Sheng sighed. Everyone sighed too. If it wasn't because the undead were exclusive to the Yang family, Sima Yue's trick of framing would not have such an effect. Where do you guys think the Yang family is hiding? Dai asked. Where else can they be? They are most likely hiding in the Northern Du clan. Feng Kai said confidently. Since the Yang family and the Northern Du clan were tied together, the Northern Du clan would definitely not want to throw away their chess piece. After all, many of the undead were still in the hands of the Yang family, and the outside world did not know that they were the masterminds behind it. Sima Yue and the rest knew, but they would not reveal it for the time being. They could still deal with the Yang family. However, if they implicated a hidden family, without absolute evidence, the people of the mainland would not easily touch them. During this period of time, the Northern Du clan could make Paramount Valley disappear from the mainland. Hence, to implicate the Northern Du clan, they needed substantial evidence. However, Northern Duhao is not enough. Alright, the Yang family's matter will end here. Your mission now is to develop our strength in the inner regions. Pay close attention to the undead. Sima Yue instructed. We know. In the future, even if the Yang family wanted to make a move on Paramount Valley, as long as they did not use the undead, they would not care too much. Now, as long as they used the undead, the people of the mainland would be able to follow this line of investigation. The Yang family had many enemies now. While Sima Yue and the rest were discussing the Yang family, the Northern Du clan was also discussing Sima Yue. You said that those things were done by Sima Yue? A black-clothed square-faced man sat together with Yang Wei. Yes. Yang Wei nodded affirmatively. He clenched his fists and said hatefully, after our analysis, Seventh Elder would not betray the family. He must have been coerced to kill those people. If it wasn't for her, we would not have been chased by so many forces and could only hide now. Serves you right. The man shouted. What did I tell you at the beginning? Sima Yue is not an ordinary person. Don't touch her now. You didn't listen and wanted to kill her over such a small matter. In the end, you exposed yourselves. You ruined my Northern Du clan's entire plan. Now you still have the face to blame others? Elder Hong, please calm down. Yang Wei quickly admitted his mistake. At this time, they could not anger the Northern Du clan anymore. If they did not care about the Yang family, then the Yang family would really be finished. We have been preparing for decades, and were about to succeed. But because of you, we lost everything. The family is already blaming you. If it wasn't for the fact that you were still useful, we would have destroyed you without those people. Elder Hong said bluntly. Yes. Yang Wei quickly nodded in agreement. After a moment of silence, Yang Wei asked again. Does the family have any news about the young master? Not yet. Elder Hong glanced at him and said, What do you want to say now? I just feel that this matter might be related to Sima Yue. Chapter 1677. Love. Elder Hong stared at Yang Wei for a while, wondering if he had pulled Sima Yue along because of the grudge between them. Yang Wei didn't avoid his gaze and continued. I think it's very likely that she did it. Why? Young Lord and Eastern Lai clan's young Miss, Eastern Lai Li, went to participate in the Crimson Pearl Convention. Both of them did not return. Eastern Lai Li's life tablet had already shattered, and it happened a few days after the Crimson Pearl Convention ended. It was also at that time that they lost contact with the young master. Therefore, the two of them should have met with an accident together, Yang Wei analyzed. You're right. According to the people who followed them, the two of them disappeared together. Elder Hong nodded. At that time, Sima Yue also went to the Lost Lands to look for her master and teacher. Yang Wei continued. They were both in the Lost Lands, and one of them died while the other went missing. Although Young Lord doesn't have any grudges with Sima Yue, she doesn't get along with Eastern Lai Li. Many people attended Shimen Feng's wedding. The news of Sima Yue going to the lost place also spread. The Northern Du clan also knew that she had participated in the Crimson Pearl Convention. There was no need for Yang Wei to continue. It was not impossible for Northern Du Hao to accompany Eastern Lai Li to kill Sima Yue. But young master brought so many corpses with him. How could Sima Yue defeat them all? He said this because he believed that Sima Yue was related to Northern Du Hao's disappearance. Elder Hong, have you forgotten Sima Yue's identity? She was the child of a human and a ghost, so she had the bloodline of a ghost. Moreover, that person was the princess of the Ghost Clan. If she had the blood of the Ghost Clan in her body, those corpses might not be so useful to her. Moreover, her strength is very strong. Men, Elder Hong shouted to the outside and a guard came in. He instructed, send someone to investigate Sima Yue's information for me. No matter how big or small, I want to know everything. Yes, Elder. Elder, there's no need to trouble them. I have a copy of her information here. Yang Wei took out a thick stack of papers and handed them to Elder Hong. Actually, the reason why we want to deal with Sima Yue is not only because of her collusion with us, but also because if we don't get rid of such a person, when she grows up in the future, how will we have a foothold in the future? Elder Hong took the information and started reading. The more he read, the more shocked he became. He had always thought that Sima Yue was just a lady from a small family, and had never taken her seriously. He did not expect her to do so many shocking things. Yang Wei saw the change in his expression and continued, "Actually, it's not that we were impulsive. The people we sent out were enough to kill several Paragon-level experts, but she was completely unharmed." What did this mean? Corpses could do no harm to her. If I'm not wrong, there should be ghost energy in her body, and this just so happens to restrain the undead. Therefore, even if the young master had a lot of corpses to protect himself, he might not be able to defeat her. And, at this point he paused and glanced at Elder Hong. "If you have any guesses, just say it." Elder Hong said impatiently. If the young master really used the undead back then, with her intelligence, she should have already guessed that the Northern Du clan was behind the undead. Yang Wei said. Elder Hong's hands trembled. "How likely do you think this guess is?" 90%. Yang Wei said, "If at this time she spreads this news, the Northern Du clan. Bring your clansmen and stay here. You're not allowed to go out and cause trouble. I'm going to look for the clan head." Elder Hong said, got up and left quickly. Yang Wei looked at his hurried back and laughed silently. "Sima Yue, Sima Yue, against the hidden clan. Do you still have the confidence to win?" What kind of decision the Northern Du clan would make was not something he could control, but he believed that with this information, the Northern Du clan would definitely not ignore Sima Yue. Just the fact that she might know that the Northern Du clan had something to do with the undead was enough for them to kill her. Thinking about Sima Yue's possible ending, the knot in his heart dissipated a lot. And as he expected, this news had indeed alarmed the entire Northern Du clan, and they all gathered together to discuss how to deal with this matter. "This Sima Yue, we can't let her live." This was the unanimous opinion of all the Northern Du clan members. But on what to do, everyone had different opinions. "Since the undead are useless to her, we can't use this. She hasn't announced this to the world because there's no evidence. If we send the undead to kill her, wouldn't we be handing the evidence to her? That's right. It's best if we don't show ourselves. That way, she won't shift her attention to us. Then it's best not to just target her. I think we should kill the entire Sima family." "That's fine. Because of the Yang clan, Paramount Valley's current position is a little special. If we attack them at this time, it will cause unnecessary trouble. And the Sima family has always kept a low profile. If we kill a Sima family, no one will link it to us. It's best to find an enemy of the Sima family. If we don't have an enemy, we can create one." "We do have an enemy." Elder Hong took out a piece of paper. When Sima Yue returned to the Sima family took the opportunity to exterminate a family. Although many died then, there were some fish that escaped the net. As long as we make use of this, it'll be fine. "All right, then we'll leave this matter to Elder Hong." Patriarch Northern Du said. "Also spread the news that Eastern Lai Li was killed by Sima Yue. I think Eastern Lai clan won't stand by and do nothing." Patriarch, Eastern Lai Li is already dead. Do we still have to continue our agreement with Eastern Lai clan? Of course we have to continue. Now we need Eastern Lai clan to be our cover. Patriarch Northern Du said. Patriarch about the undead. The Yang clan's move has been wasted. We can only go from the open to the dark. We have to nurture a new family to take over the Yang clan's position. Patriarch Northern Du said. We've already chosen this family. You just need to teach them how to control the undead. Fortunately, there are still more than half of the undead left. We don't need to spend more than 10 years to prepare. Patriarch is wise. Sima Yue didn't know the decision made by the Northern Du clan. But because it would be her great-grandfather's 1200th birthday soon, and there was nothing to do in Paramount Valley, she returned to the Sima family. When she returned to the clan, she found that the atmosphere in the clan wasn't very good. Everyone was frowning. She looked at Sima Luxian. The latter shrugged and said, I've always been with you. How would I know about the clan's matters? We'll know when we meet the patriarch. Chapter 1678. The two of them went to look for Sima Ji Yuan, and saw that everyone was frowning. What's wrong? Sima Yue looked at them in confusion. Did something happen in the family? Sigh. Sima Ji-yuan sighed, still not saying anything. Alright, from the looks of it, it shouldn't be a big deal. Tell me, what's the matter that's making you so conflicted? Sima Yu sat on the empty chair at the bottom, and her hanging heart finally calmed down. How do you know he's fine? Sima Ji-yuan glared at her. Can't you see that great-grandfather's hair is turning white? Didn't your hair turn white a long time ago? Sima Yue glanced at him helplessly. Oh. Sima Ji-yuan glared at her. You little heartless one, I was so worried about you, and you're still talking about me like that. Oh. You're worried about me. What's the matter? Let me see if it's really that worrisome, Sima Yue asked. It's all because of those ignorant brats. They actually dared to come to my residence to propose marriage. What the hell? My Yue is not someone that can be married to a nobody like them. He's not worthy. Sima Ji-yuan snorted coldly. PFFF. Sima Yue and Sima Luxian spat out the tea in their mouths. Great-grandfather, what did you say? Someone is proposing to me? Sima Yue looked at everyone in surprise. Great-grandfather, you didn't agree, did you? Of course not. Do you think your great-grandfather is blind? Sima Ji-yuan snorted coldly. That's good. Sima Yue heaved a sigh of relief. But more people came after that. In just a short 2 months, 7 or 8 groups of people came. It really angered me to death. Sima Ji-yuan said. So great-grandfather, do you think that no one wants to marry me? Sima Yue asked. No way. My Yue is the best. Those people are not worthy of you. Speaking of which, why wasn't there any news about Wu Lingyu? Is he asking for a beating? Sima Ji-yuan was very unhappy. He was delayed by something over there. Could it be that great-grandfather doesn't like me and wants to marry me off as soon as possible? Sima Yue pursed her lips. Says who? Isn't that right? Then why are you still upset? Sima Yue said with a smile. I'm just unhappy. Sima Ji-yuan snorted coldly. Alright, there's no need to worry about these things. There are other things that you need to worry about. Sima Yue said. Is it about the undead? Sima Hishun immediately guessed what she wanted to say. That's right. If this matter is not resolved, it will be suspended here. Sima Yue said. We all know about what happened in Paramount Valley. Although the Yang clan was forced to hide in the end, if we don't get rid of them completely, I'm afraid that there will be a huge problem in the future. Sima Ji-yuan said. The Yang family isn't the most important right now. What we need to guard against now is the hidden clan's Northern Du clan. Northern Du clan. If the Yang clan enters the Northern Du clan, with their hatred towards me and Paramount Valley, I'm afraid that they will drag the Northern Du clan down with them. Sima Yue's expression turned serious. And the best way is to let them think that I'm a threat to them. Once the Northern Du clan believes it, I'm afraid that they will deal with me and the Sima family. Under such circumstances, it's indeed not good to deal with Paramount Valley. Our Sima family seems to be easier to deal with. Sima Hishun understood Sima Yue's worries. That's right. That's what I'm worried about too. Sima Yue said worriedly. I'm afraid that they will make a move on the Sima family. You don't have to worry about that. Sima Hishun smiled. Our Sima family has already risen in recent years. Do you think it's that easy to deal with us now? As long as they don't use the undead, we don't have to worry. And they don't even dare to use them now. But I'm the one who implicated the family. Sima Yue felt very guilty when she thought of this. Sighed, you're not right. Sima Ji-yuan said disapprovingly. You and the family are one. You helped the family rise, so we should protect you. That's right. Don't think too much about it. Sima Hishun said. We've been developing in secret for so many years. It's time for others to see our strength. You just have to go back to the family and stay in peace. You don't have to worry about anything else. Great-grandfather, great-uncle, I'm worried that the Northern Du clan won't do it themselves and will let others deal with us. So the family has to be more careful and be more cautious of others. We know. Sima Hishun agreed. If it was Sima Ji-yuan who said it, Sima Yue would have said a few more words. But since Sima He-shun said it, she didn't have to worry. Alright, since there's nothing else, I'll go back first. She stood up and said. Go. Lu Xian, stay behind and talk to us. Sima Ji Yuan waved at Sima Yue and waited for her to leave before saying to Sima Lu Xian. Tell us what happened to her during this period. Yes, Patriarch. After Sima Yue returned to her courtyard, she immediately went into the spirit pagoda and rummaged through the treasure pavilion to see if there was anything else she could help the family with. After rummaging through it, she realized that the only thing she hadn't given to the Sima family was the arrays. Previously, she felt that this thing belonged to the 100 changing doors after all, but now that the situation was special and she had given the rubbing to the little old man, it shouldn't be a problem for her to use it. And now that the situation was special, she had to strengthen the family's defensive array. Thinking of this, she rubbed a copy of the Imperial Beast Art and Spirit Seeker's Origin together, and told Bai Sheng to come and get it. Bai Sheng was very fast, and came over to her place in a short while. Sima Yue passed the items to him and said, These are some cultivation methods that I've collected over the years. Take them back to Feng, he will know what to do. To be safe, she had placed a restriction on the rubbing. Without the method that she had taught Shimin Feng, if anyone tried to open it by force, they would only destroy the rubbing. Bai Sheng took the items and left. She took the array book and went to look for Sima Ji Yuan. Great-grandfather, this is the birthday gift that I've prepared for you. Now that I've given it to you in advance, don't come looking for me for a birthday gift when the time comes. She placed the rubbing into Sima Ji Yuan's hands. Oh, you little girl, are you afraid that you won't be able to take this out on my birthday, so you're giving it to me in advance? Sima Ji Yuan said disdainfully. Haha, great-grandfather, you know me. Sima Yue didn't explain. She really couldn't take this out on the birthday banquet. Humph, let me see what you've prepared. Although Sima Ji Yuan appeared to be very disdainful, the corners of her mouth were raised, showing that she was in a good mood. Enough, who doesn't know that the things that Yue gives are all good things? Just keep showing off. Sima He-shun couldn't help but expose him. He just didn't like this arrogant look of his. He really didn't like it no matter how he looked at it. Chapter 1679. Love. Sima Ji Yuan looked at the thing inside and asked in surprise. Child, where did you get this thing? This is a lost treasure of the 100 changing doors. Ling Yu gave it to me, Sima Yue said. I've already sent a copy to the 100 changing doors. If we use it, will they find trouble with us? I don't think so. This item was found by Ling Yu, and I've already returned a portion to them. So they shouldn't find trouble with us anymore. Just don't let anyone know about it. Good. Men. Sima Ji Yuan shouted towards the outside. A guard came in and ordered him. Go and invite third elder over. The guard took the order and left. Sima Yue stood up and said, I'm going to take a look at the family's defense array and see if there's anything I can do. Wait for a while. Let third brother take you there. The defensive array is so big. It's better to have someone to guide you. The matter of the array has always been handled by third elder. He is most clear on the matter of the defensive array, Sima He-shun said. All right then. Sima Yue sat back down. When third elder arrived and heard Sima Ji Yuan explain the origins of the stone rubbing, he was extremely shocked and wanted to immediately take it down to study it. However, Sima Ji Yuan asked him to bring Sima Yue to look at the defensive array. Although Sima Yue was just a junior to him, everyone knew that she had an extraordinary status in the family. Therefore, although his heart was itching unbearably, he could only restrain himself and take her to see the defense array. He originally thought that it was just a formality. Although she was very accomplished in alchemy, she shouldn't be that good in array formations. However, she didn't expect that after she understood the entire defense array, she would only need to change a few points to increase its defensive capabilities. Third elder, do the forces outside the family also use this defensive array? Sima Yue asked. Yes. It's just that they've shrunk. Third elder's expression turned serious, and he showed more respect to Sima Yue. Then you should understand the changes just now. Follow these instructions and have them strengthen their respective defensive arrays. Alright. To be on the safe side, the third elder brought the array masters of the clan to take a look at the defense array. He also told them about the places that Sima Yue had changed, and asked them to remember them. After that, they went to the forces outside to strengthen their defense array. When the formation masters returned, they began to study the formation books that Sima Yue had given them. The following days were relatively peaceful. The Sima family prepared for Sima Ji Yuan's 1200th birthday banquet, and invited a few people who were on good terms with them to attend. But the peace was broken before the birthday banquet. On this day, Sima Yue and Sima Lu Xian were discussing the matter of searching for spirits when Enlei came in from outside and bowed to the two of them, saying, "Young miss, something happened." "What happened?" "I heard from outside that several groups of people who came to attend the birthday banquet were attacked by unknown people." Enlei replied, "I heard that some people even died. Did the family send someone to pick them up?" Sima Lu Xian asked. "I've already sent someone. But we received the news relatively late, so the situation is still quite serious." Enlei replied, "I'll go and take a look." Sima Lu Xian nodded at Sima Yue and got up to leave. Sima Yue watched his back as he left. She called out some scarlet bees and asked them to go to Sima Ji Yuan's place to investigate. "Did you hear anything else?" "No." Enlei shook her head. "I heard this and came back to tell young Mississippi. Young miss, do you think this is the work of the Northern Dew family?" "It's not impossible. They have been quiet for so long, it's very likely that they will make a move at this time." Sima Yue knocked on the table with one hand. Since they will make a move on these people, they might also make a move on the other guests. If great-grandfather's birthday banquet is ruined by these people, that would be depressing. "Will the patriarch send someone to pick up the people behind?" Enlei asked. "No matter how great-grandfather and the others send people, it's impossible for them to take care of everything. If the other party is targeting us, they will definitely be prepared. We have to think of other ways." Sima Yue pondered. After a while she said, "The scarlet bees sent news, great-grandfather, and the others have already sent people to pick up the others. Then what else do we need to do?" Enlei looked at Sima Yue. Sima Yue thought about it, then called out Little Rock, Halcyon and the others, saying, "Little Rock, you already understand the situation. I want to ask you to send a request to the various bird clans. Get them to step out and protect those people if they encounter such a situation. If there's a need, you can also release Crimson Flame's aura." "No problem." Little Rock nodded and left with Chongming. Sima Yue didn't know how the bird clans communicated with each other, but if there were bird clans protecting them along the way, then there wouldn't be too much of a problem. Not long after she sent out the message, another message came through Little Rock's contract platform. Another group of people was intercepted along the way, but Chongming and the others happened to be nearby, so they led the bird clans to rescue them. The bird clans' attacks were very strong, and with their rescue, those people were safe and sound, and they even caught a few alive. We sent them to protect those people, and we also let them bring the few alive over. We'll go to other places to take a look," Little Rock said. "You guys be careful. Other than protecting their safety, try to find out who did this," Sima Yue instructed. "Okay. Don't worry, great-grandfather's birthday banquet will go smoothly," Little Rock comforted. I'll have to trouble you guys." Very quickly, the people escorted by the bird clans arrived, and they didn't encounter any other people or incidents along the way, and they successfully arrived at the Sima family. It was only then that Sima Ji Yuan and the others knew that Sima Yue had sent the bird clans, but they couldn't go and find her now, and they had to interrogate the people who were sent along with her to find out who was the mastermind behind this. At the same time, in other places, a few groups of people were also assassinated, but they were all destroyed by the sudden appearance of the bird clans. In the end, those people were all escorted by the bird clans to the Sima family. The bird clans cleared the way. This was a high-level treatment that was hard to enjoy in the past, and those people didn't expect to be able to enjoy this after being frightened. The discomfort in their hearts about getting killed because they were on good terms with the Sima family had disappeared. How many people in this world could mobilize the bird clans? How many bird clans were there in the entire continent, and how powerful the Sima family was? When the people who wanted to deal with the Sima family found out that the bird clans had interfered, they had no choice but to give up their plans. If they fought with the bird clans, not only would they not achieve the desired results, they would also suffer a double loss. In Sima Yue's courtyard, Enlei ran in hurriedly and said to Sima Yue, "Young miss, the patriarch has sent someone to invite you over. He said that he wants to interrogate those people together. Let's go and see who is behind all this." Chapter 1680. The interrogation process was not troublesome. Those people quickly explained why they wanted to deal with those people. It turned out that everything was really aimed at the Sima family, but the reason was not because of the Northern Du family, but because of a reason that they did not expect. The Jiang family, the family that wanted to annex the Sima family, but was exterminated before Sima Yue returned to the family. There were still some fish that escaped the net. At that time, no one knew where he had hidden himself. Now he was using a sect called Qingling sect to take revenge. It was said that he had become the sect master's husband, and had won the sect master's favor. She was willing to avenge him. I have never heard of this green spirit sect before. I don't know what kind of sect they are. Now that they have come to deal with us, I'm afraid it is not a coincidence. Sima Hishun said. You're saying that this was arranged by someone else? Great Elder asked. Very likely. Sima Hishun speculated. If this green spirit sect has some strength, then it's impossible for us not to have heard of them. This meant that he was only a small force. Would such a force dare to attack us? That's right, they dare to be so fearless towards us. It must be because someone is supporting them from behind. Sima Jiyuan said. It should be the Northern Du clan who acted against us. Without direct evidence, we can't do anything to them, the Great Elder said hatefully. This little trick won't be a problem for us. Sima Jiyuan didn't care about that power at all. Great-grandfather, I think they chose this time to make a move to ruin your birthday banquet. If this matter is not handled properly, it will affect the banquet that day. Sima Yue said. So we should be careful. Since you've already mobilized the bird clan, I believe they won't dare to do anything else. Sima Yue shook her head. Since they've already started, they won't be afraid of this. I think they are only holding back temporarily. If nothing happens during this period, something will definitely happen on the day of the birthday banquet. My thoughts are the same as you use. If something happens during the banquet and the guests are implicated, I'm afraid that this matter will be even more difficult to explain. Third Elder said. If that's really the case, we have to be on guard. If I knew it would be so troublesome, I wouldn't have done this. Sima Jiyuan said impatiently. Even if this didn't happen, they would have done it from another angle. It's all the same. Sima Yue said. These people are too lowly, they don't know anything. Right now we don't know what they're planning, but we'll deal with whatever comes our way. With absolute power, we don't have to be afraid of any schemes. Ha ha ha, what you said is wrong. Sima Jiyuan laughed loudly. It's time for those people to see the power of our Sima family. Since they want to find trouble for us, we'll take this opportunity to become famous again. That's right, ha. Sima Yue looked at the enthusiastic elders and did not say anything. She only smiled. Reviving the Sima family was the long-cherished wish of the ancestors. Now that it was finally going to be realized, how could they not be happy? However, it was better to be careful. Since they were so happy, she would put in more effort. Chongzhou, where the Sima family lived, was very lively recently. There were many outsiders who came to celebrate Sima Jiyuan's birthday. Some of the Sima family members who were outside also came back. It was rare for the Sima family to be so complete. Sima Yue also met those uncles and grandfathers. She followed Sima Luxian and met a circle of people. Fortunately, everyone was a cultivator and had a photographic memory. After a round of meeting, she remembered these elders. Before this, she was still thinking that the ones she saw the most in the clan were Sima Jiyuan and the bunch of elders, or the younger ones like Sima Yiyun. The people from the middle two generations rarely appeared, but it turned out that they were all sent outside. After so many years, she had not seen many of them. Actually, these people would come back often, but Sima Yue did not spend much time in the family. When she was around, she would stay in her courtyard and not come out. Those people came and went in a hurry, so she did not see many of them. And with these people, she knew that great-grandfather was not the eldest in the family, but the youngest in that generation. She did not know why, but he became the head of the family. By the way, the people in their line were much younger than the others. It's a good thing that cultivators don't pursue having children. Otherwise, with this pile there would be thousands of uncles, grandparents and the like. Sima Yu muttered softly. Sima Lu Xian was standing beside her. When he heard what she said, he smiled. There are more people on our side. Your mother's side has fewer relatives. The ghost clan was even less interested in having children. Moreover, it was more difficult for the ghost clan to have children, so there were fewer direct relatives. However, even so, the number of aunts and uncles was still considerable. Father, since the meeting is over, if there is nothing else, I will go back first. Sima Yue tugged at Sima Lu Xian's clothes and said softly. There was no need to talk about her status in the clan. When everyone saw her, they were very affectionate. Some aunts and uncles held her hand and praised her nonstop. Her heart was so sweet. Sima Lu Xian had long noticed that she was not comfortable here. He smiled and said, They like you too much. All right, go back if you want to. I will tell them. Thank you, father. She smiled at Sima Lu Xian and turned to sneak away. Sima Lu Xian smiled helplessly when he saw her like this. He was considered a junior in the family, but since his daughter did not like such occasions, he would help her. Sima Yue returned to her courtyard and contacted Little Rock and the others. There were still 3 days before the birthday banquet. There were more people coming during this period of time, so Little Rock and the others were busier. Yu, I have already instructed them. They have already gone over in the name of escorting. Little Rock said. Are they willing to do such a big favor for us? What's there to be unhappy about? Who in the bird clan doesn't know that you are the contract master of the divine vermilion bird? It is their honor to help you. What's there to be unhappy about? Little Rock snorted. When they heard that they might be able to see Crimson Flame here, they were all very excited. If it weren't for us holding them back, they would have run over to you. Chongming also chimed in. Aren't you afraid that Crimson Flame will be angry? Sima Yue laughed. He won't. Although he doesn't like them, he is still the guardian of the bird clan. He won't dislike them. Little Rock laughed and said. Well, there are still 3 days. Be careful. Use the power of the contract to rush back on the day of the birthday banquet. Sima Yue instructed. Chapter 1681. Everything she did was done in secret. Other than Sima Zhiyuan and a few others who knew about it, the other clansmen didn't know about it. Mobile phone access in these 3 days, even more people came to Chongzhou. Just like Shimen Feng's wedding, some people were invited, while others came on their own. They wanted to build a relationship with Sima Yue. The Green Spirit sect was also quiet these days, and no one was intercepted. However, this made the Sima family even more vigilant. On the day of the birthday celebration, Sima Yue went to the front yard early in the morning. There were many guests today and they needed to help entertain the guests. Because she was young and her seniority was also very low, she should be receiving people from the younger generation. However, she was brought along by Sima Zhiyuan to receive those who were of higher seniority. If he had known earlier, he wouldn't have come. She was getting a headache from all the noise and couldn't help but mutter in her heart. Yue. Just when she wanted to find an excuse to leave, Su Lu Nian and the rest walked over. Auntie. Sima Yue was suddenly energized and greeted her with a smile. He Zhenzhong came in front of Sima Zhiyuan and took the box from the guard beside him, saying, Congratulations to brother Zhiyuan on your birthday. Ha ha ha. Thank you, old brother He, for coming over personally. Please forgive us if there's anything we haven't done. Sima Zhiyuan laughed loudly. Because of Sima Yue, the relationship between the He family and the Sima family had been getting better. They were already calling each other brothers. At this time, 2 people came up from the side, took out a congratulatory gift and handed it to the Sima family, and said, "Congratulations, Sima family head." Sima Jiyuan was stunned. Didn't these people come with the He clan? Great-grandfather, they're Su family's Uncle Su Yang and young Master Su Yu. Uncle Su Yang and Auntie He are twins. Sima Yue recognized them. Weren't they the two people she had saved before? So it's the Su clan's guests. Ha ha ha, please come in, please come in. Third elder, please bring them in. Sima Jiyuan said. Brother Ziyuan, since you're so busy here, third elder should stay here and greet the other guests. We don't have to go through so much trouble. Yue can come with us. Sima Jiyuan was a little hesitant. One was the patriarch of the He family, while the other was an important guest of the Su family. It was a little inappropriate for a junior like Sima Yue to receive them. It's okay, we know Yue, other people might not be used to it, Su Lunyan said. Sima Jiyuan saw that Su Yang and the others did not have any objections, so he said to Sima Yue, Yue, since this is the case, you will receive them. Yes, great-grandfather, I will definitely receive them well. Sima Yue happily bowed to Sima Jiyuan, then blinked gratefully at Su Lunyan and smiled. Uncle He, Aunt He, Uncle Yang, please follow me. She brought them into the Sima family. Originally, she wanted to bring them to the guests' resting area, but Su Lunyan said that she wanted some peace and quiet, so she brought them to her own courtyard. She planned to bring them there before the banquet. Along the way, Su Lunyan was the one talking, while the other three were silent at the side. When they reached Sima Yoyue's courtyard, Su Lunyan grabbed Sima Yoyue's hand and said gratefully, Child, I really don't know how to thank you for what happened to your Uncle Yang. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have known that he was trapped in that place. You saved me first, then you saved Yue, and now you saved my brother. I really don't know how to thank you. Aunt He, you're too polite. Isn't it a coincidence every time? Besides, I didn't do much. It was just a small matter. Aunt He, you're treating me like an outsider. Sima Yue said with a smile. It's a small matter to you, but it means a lot to us. I know you don't like to hear this, so I'll only say it once. We will remember your kindness in our hearts. Su Lunyan patted her hand and said. After that, she did not mention anything about repaying her kindness. Yue, do you know anything about the Yang family? He Zhenjiang asked. Sima Yue blinked and thought about the grudge between the He and Yang family. They had been investigating the Yang family for so many years. Because of Su Lunyan, the Yang family and He family would not rest until one of them was dead. When the Yang family was attacked, the He family also contributed a lot. Now that the Yang family was hiding, they definitely wanted to find them and eliminate them completely. However, she did not tell them about the undead and the Northern Du family, so they could not guess where the Yang family was hiding. If I'm not wrong, the Yang family is hiding at the Northern Du family. Northern Du family? That hidden family? Su Yang frowned. If this matter was related to the hidden family, it would be troublesome. Didn't we suspect that there was someone behind the Yang family? Sima Yue looked at He Zhenjiang and said slowly. You found out? He Zhenjiang looked at her in surprise. All these years, they had spent a lot of effort to find out the mastermind from the Yang family, but to no avail. I didn't find out, I found out by chance. Sima Yue did not tell them about the matter between her and Northern Du Hao. It was not that she did not trust them, but it was better if fewer people knew about it. Moreover, they only needed to know the result. The process was not that important. If the mastermind is really the Northern Du family, then this matter will be troublesome. Su Lunyan said worriedly. Yes, it is indeed troublesome. Sima Yue sighed. It was a pity that she did not have absolute strength, and could not directly eliminate them to prevent future troubles. Is the incident that the guests encountered on the way related to them? Su Yu asked. They also heard that someone was killed on the way. At first, they thought that it was a personal grudge between the Sima family, but now it seemed that it was not as simple as they thought. The person who attacked us is someone called the Green Spirit Sect. They said that they wanted to avenge their sect master's husband. That person is called Jiang Kuan, someone who escaped from the Jiang family. But how would we know if there is a mastermind behind this? Sima Yue laughed lightly. Since they did not succeed previously, I'm afraid that they will make another move later. Su Yang and the rest were quick-witted and quickly understood the twists and turns in the story. Yes, we think so too. Great-grandfather, and the rest said that today would not be a smooth day. But we have also made preparations. We will make sure that they do not return. If the hidden clan is really behind this, I'm afraid that things will not be so easy. If something really happens, we will not stand by and do nothing, Su Lunyan said. Thank you so much. Sima Yue bowed to Su Lunyan and did not reject their good intentions. Whether she needed their help or not was one thing, but their intentions were another. Chapter 1682. Su Lunyan and the rest stayed in Sima Yue's courtyard until the banquet started. Enlei came in from outside and said that most of the guests had arrived. Sima Zhiyuan said that the banquet was about to begin. Sima Yue nodded at her and said to Su Lunyan, Aunt He, the preparations are almost done. Let's go over. All right. Sima Yue brought them to the banquet venue and saw that the other guests had already taken their seats. Young miss, your seats are in front. Please follow me. A maidservant hurried forward when she saw Sima Yue. Sima Yue knew that she was waiting for them there. She nodded and said, Let's go over. They walked along the edge of the arena, leaving them a seat that was closer to Sima Zhiyuan's main seat. Uncle He, Aunt He, Uncle Yang, see you sit here. Sima Yue led them to their seats. All right. You go back to your seat too. Boom. Before Su Lunyan could finish her sentence, a deafening sound was heard from outside. What happened? Could it be those people? All the guests were in an uproar as they recalled the assassination attempt. Patriarch, let's go and take a look. Sima Lufeng and the others stood up and said to Sima Zhiyuan. Go ahead. No matter who they are, they don't have good intentions. You don't have to show mercy, Sima Zhiyuan said. Yes, Patriarch. Sima Lufeng, Sima Luyun and Sima Luxian left the venue and flew to midair. They saw the guards and a group of people in a deadlock above the Sima family. Who are you people? Sima Lufeng shouted. Sima Lufeng, you don't recognize me so quickly? A man's face was gloomy as he looked at Sima Lufeng with a murderous look. Sima Lufeng glanced at the person who came and said, TSK, I was wondering who it was. I didn't expect it to be a street rat like you. Jiang Kuan, I heard that you've become someone's man. Why don't you hide yourself properly? How dare you come out and make a fool of yourself? Sima Lufeng, your Sima family coveted my Jiang family's property and plotted to exterminate my Jiang family. Today, I'm here for revenge, Jiang Kuan shouted. Today is the day your Sima family dies. You dare to think about it. Sima Luyun's face was solemn. He was imposing without being angry. Ha 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 ha, Sima Luyun, do you think everyone is afraid of your Sima family? Today, not only do I dare to think about it, I also dare to do it. Jiang Kuan shouted. TSK, with just a few of you. Sima Lufeng pointed at the 10 over people. Today is my master's birthday banquet. If you all scram now, we can still let you live for 2 more days. Otherwise, I wouldn't mind using your blood to celebrate my master's birthday. Husband. A woman flew over to Jiang Kuan's side. You're the sect leader of the Green Spirit sect? A small force that I have never heard of dares to fight with the Sima family for such a man. Their courage is commendable. We usually don't come out. Do you think the world is surnamed Sima? The sect leader of the Green Spirit sect snorted coldly and said to Jiang Kuan, Husband, we don't need to talk nonsense with them, let's go. The sect leader of the Green Spirit sect clapped his hands, and many people flew out from the crowd outside. They wore the same clothes as the people of the Green Spirit sect, but they were much stronger. Sima Yue had been watching the situation from below. When she saw these people coming out, she said to Huang Yingying beside her, These people don't look like people from the Green Spirit sect. You can tell? Although they wear the same clothes and try to pretend to be the same, their aura is still slightly different. Sima Yue said. Then are these people from the Northern Du family? Huang Yingying asked. Not really. I think they should be from somewhere else. Grandma, I'll go up and take a look. Be careful. Knowing her ability, Huang Yingying did not object. She just reminded her, and let her go up. Seeing Sima Yue come up, Jiang Kuan and the sect leader of the Green Spirit sect looked at each other secretly. Sima Yue came to her father's side and stopped. Sima Luxian glared at her and said, "Why are you here?" "I came up to see which force has such ambition to help a small Green Spirit sect to deal with my Sima family." Sima Yue directly exposed them. "They are not together?" Sima Lufeng asked. Although they try to make themselves look the same, a fake is a fake. After Sima Yue finished speaking, she disappeared from the spot, and then quietly appeared behind the other party's camp, and caught them off guard. She was behind Sima Luxian, and was not afraid of the other party's attack. She took out Ling Long, turned it into a dagger, and wiped the neck of the other party. Blood spurted out. From her disappearance to her death, it only took a few breaths. This change was so fast that Jiang Kuan and others' faces changed. They didn't feel any movement at all just now. The man didn't seem to think that he would die like this, and his eyes were still blank. Sima Yue probed into his sea of consciousness. After finding the information she wanted, she threw him out. "Father, this person is from the 16th State's Yu family," she said to Sima Luxian. "Yu family?" Sima Lufeng frowned. They didn't have any contact with the Yu family. How could they be willing to be the executioner? The Yu family and the Yang family have a good relationship. They are thousands of years old families. Sima Yue said. These people are not from the Green Spirit sect. Yu family. No matter what family they are, if they want to fight with us, the result will be the same. Sima Lufeng took out his spirit weapon and planned to fight. The Yu family didn't expect Sima Yue to have this trick. She knew their identity so quickly through the memory. Since they were exposed, the Yu family no longer hid their identity. The aura of the inconspicuous man beside Jiang Kuan changed. He stared at Sima Yue and said faintly, "Sima Yue, you are really powerful. No wonder the Yang family fell into your hands. What does your Yu family mean by helping the Green Spirit sect? Do you want to avenge the Yang family?" Sima Yue looked back at him. "Or are you, like the Yang family, also involved in the undead? Don't try to label us like this. If my Yu family was related to the undead, would we dare to look for you with such great fanfare?" The man didn't fall for it. My Yu family and the Yang family had an agreement that if one family was in trouble, the other family would avenge it. We are just fulfilling the agreement now. So the people who intercepted our guests some time ago were also you. Sima Luxian stood in front of Sima Yue and looked at the man coldly. "We won't do such a brainless thing," the man said. "It will only work when people are here." "What do you mean?" "Ha ha ha, to tell you the truth, your guests are now poisoned. If you don't want anything to happen to them, you should obediently surrender. After that, we will naturally give them the antidote." Jiang Kuan laughed at the side. Chapter 1683. 1 Second to Remember. Love Divided by You? Read BookWeb. Update fast, no pop-up window, free to read. As soon as Jiang Kuan's words fell, the people present were a little panicked. Those guests were worried that they were really poisoned, and they used their spirit power to check. The Sima family was also worried that something would happen to the guests here, and quickly asked the doctor to check. "Who told you to do this?" Not only the people here, but the Yu family was also surprised. I have my own arrangements. No matter what the process is, as long as the result is the same." Jiang Kuan laughed. "Master Yu, our purpose is the same. Do you know how many people you will offend by doing this?" The Yu family recognized that there were many people below who were on par with their Yu family, and there were even some who were more powerful than them. If they offended all of them, and everyone came to deal with them, then their Yu family would end up like the Yang family. Sima Luxian looked at Jiang Kuan, and then looked at the Yu family, and had some thoughts in his mind. It seems that the targeting of the guests had nothing to do with the Yu family. The person who intercepted and got Jiang Kuan to poison them halfway was not them, but someone else. "Sima Luyan, have you thought about it? As long as your Sima family surrenders, we will immediately give them the antidote." Jiang Kuan said. "No one has the antidote for this poison except us. You want us to surrender?" Don't even think about it. Sima Lu Yun snorted coldly. Why, you don't care about the life and death of these guests. Haha. Everyone, did you hear that? The Sima family who doesn't care about your life and death. Do you still want to celebrate the birthday of their patriarch? The faces of some guests changed, but no one said anything, waiting for the Sima family's decision. Maybe some of them wanted to do something, but seeing that most people didn't move, they couldn't jump out alone to accuse the Sima family. And seeing that the expressions of the Sima family didn't change, each of them had a card up their sleeve, so there should be no problem. The poison you said, are you referring to that person? Sima Lu Yun glanced below, and immediately someone brought a person dressed in the Sima family's servant costume and tied up. Seeing the person tied up, Jiang Kuan's face changed. You are not poisoned? He exclaimed. You want to poison my Sima family with such a person? You're looking down on us too much. Sima Lu Feng said delightedly. Say it. What other tricks do you have? Hurry up and use it. After this, I'm afraid I won't even have the chance to talk anymore. Next move? What other tricks did he have up his sleeve? His most effective move had been nipped in the bud by them. What other moves did he have? How is that possible? He clearly sent a message back saying that he had succeeded. How could he have been caught by you? He kept shaking his head. Don't you know that there's a word called coercion and bribery? Sima Yue looked at him as if he was an idiot. However, this person isn't from your Qingling sect, right? Other than the Yu clan, there's someone else behind you. What? The people who were most surprised were not the people from the Green Spirit sect who had been exposed, but the Yu family. Ha ha ha. Surnamed you've all been taken for fools. Sima Lu Feng clutched his stomach and laughed. Jiang Kuan, is what they said true? Elder Yu. Whether there's someone behind us or not has nothing to do with the cooperation between us. Our purpose is to kill the Sima family and Sima Yue. As for the rest, why bother so much? Jiang Kuan said. Emph. The Yu clan man snorted coldly but didn't say anything. Sima Lu Yun. Even if you didn't poison them, you won't be able to escape death today. Elder Yu, it's impossible to be kind to them today. It's better to take action and settle this quickly. Jiang Kuan said. The Yu clan also knew that they couldn't be kind today and didn't plan to be. He waved his hand and those who came out just now attacked the Sima family's guards. The Sima family's people were not weak either. They all went up and a group of people fought directly above the Sima family. Fortunately, their defensive array was automatically activated when they were attacked, so they didn't destroy the Sima family's house. Patriarch, the spirit skills outside are quite beautiful. This spectacular scene can also be seen as fireworks for your birthday. Sima Chi said with a smile. Well, not bad. Sima Jiyuan liked these words very much. These people dared to find trouble with the Sima family, and chose to do it on his birthday. They were so annoying. The guests were a little shocked when they saw them talking and laughing. This Sima family was just a small force. How could they be so calm in the face of the families of the 16th state? Brother Jiyuan, if there's anything you need, we can also help. He Zhenjiang said. Ha ha ha. You are all guests of my Sima family. How can you let the guests fight? The Yu clan only sent some people over, not all of them. My Sima family can still resist. Come, everyone eat and drink to your heart's content. Sima Jiyuan greeted everyone with a smile. The guests looked at each other, and their eyes had the same meaning. When did the Sima family become so greedy? Even if they had a genius descendant, they couldn't challenge a big family, right? But looking at the Sima family, it seemed that they really didn't put the Yu clan in their eyes. Since the host was like this, what could they, the guests, say? So they all began to eat and drink. This time, they invited the chef of Memory Restaurant. Now more or less, the people of the mainlands like to eat at Memory Restaurant, so everyone liked today's meal very much. They could eat delicious food, and there was a good show to watch. This was the first birthday banquet. Sima Yue stood in the air and didn't make a move. After she called Little Seven and the others out, she locked herself in a space lock, so the spiritual skills around her couldn't hurt her at all. The Yu clan thought that these guards should be easy to deal with, but they didn't expect to encounter a tough bone. They couldn't take down the Sima family at all. I've long heard that the Sima family has a spiritual skill that can merge contract beasts and humans into one to increase their strength. Seeing it today, it really lives up to its reputation. The guests below said enviously. They could all see that the Sima clansmen were slightly weaker than the Yu clansmen, but after they called out their contracted beasts to fuse with them, their strength increased greatly. The Yu clansmen didn't have any advantage at all. Instead, most of their people were killed. Sima Yue looked at Jiang Kuan, who was stubbornly resisting. Aren't you going to contact the people behind you now? Jiang Kuan looked at the one-sided situation and didn't dare to count on the Yu clan anymore. He took out a piece of jade and crushed it, then pulled his wife back and no longer participated in the battle. At this time, there was a change in space. Sima Yue looked up and saw a door open in the air, and a group of people wrapped in black appeared in front of everyone. Sima Yue narrowed her eyes when she saw these people. These people in black were similar to those who caused trouble in the central regions. Chapter 1684. Sima Luxian estimated that there were hundreds of men in black, and each of them was strong. If it was the Sima family's previous strength, it would not have been easy to deal with these people. Although they had the advantage in numbers, numbers didn't matter in front of a true expert. But now, these few hundred people were not enough to hurt them. My lord. Jiang Kuan bowed to the leader of the black-clothed men. A bunch of trash. The black-clothed man glanced at Jiang Kuan contemptuously with his exposed eyes. Jiang Kuan couldn't even handle such a small matter. If it weren't for the hatred between him and the Sima family, he would have killed him now. Jiang Kuan was scolded, but he did not dare to refute anything. He just nodded in agreement. However, the sect master of the Qingling sect was very angry. He wanted to go forward and argue, but was stopped by Jiang Kuan. Jiang Kuan shook his head at her. Although the sect leader was angry, she calmed down. Sima Yue was watching from the side. The sect leader really had some feelings for Jiang Kuan. Who are you? Sima Lufeng asked. The one who will take your life. The leading black-clothed man snorted. Go, leave no one from the Sima family alive today. You, cloud guards, go. Sima Luyan waved his hand, and those guards from before retreated. Cloud guards flew up from below and fought with those black-robed men. This was the first time Sima Yue saw the cloud guards fight. Their strength was much stronger than ordinary guards, and their contracted spirit beasts were also more powerful, so their strength after fusion was even more powerful. He didn't seem to be at a disadvantage when fighting with those black-clothed men. Father, Uncle Yun, it's great-grandfather's birthday today. It's not good to drag it out and let the guests laugh at us, Sima Yue said. End it quickly, Sima Luyan ordered. When the cloud guards heard this, they immediately retreated. They removed the fusion and called out their contracted ancient spiritual beasts. The appearance of the archaic spiritual beast shocked everyone. A few hundred ancient spirit beasts. This was a huge sum that even the hidden tribes could not take out. The cloud guards merged together once more. Each of them had a primordial aura, and their combat prowess was even stronger. You guys can go too. The earlier we settle this, the earlier we can get this over with, Sima Luxian said to the guards who had retreated. Those guards also took out their archaic spiritual beasts and attacked again after fusing with them. Just now, the ancient spirit beasts had not been digested, and these people revealed their own ancient spirit beasts. The guests and the people outside were frightened once again. Sima family head, you actually have so many ancient spirit beasts, someone said enviously. Ha ha ha. These are all things that you brought back from the ancient mines. At that time, it was just some ores. Who would have thought that there would be so many ancient spiritual beasts? We were all so very surprised at that time. Sima Jiyuan laughed. She brought all of them back. Everyone looked at Sima Yue in a different light. Yeah, Yue has inherited her father's talent, and is very talented in seeking out spirits, Sima Jiyuan said proudly. Isn't she an array master and alchemist? I didn't expect him to be a seeker spirit master, someone whispered. That's right. I always tell her not to bite off more than she can chew. She should just focus on one subject. But this was because he was too talented and learned everything very well. So I just let him be. When everyone heard this, they all rolled their eyes in their hearts and said that he was showing off. However, I heard that those people from the primordial era are looking for primordial spirit beasts everywhere. If they know that you have contracted so many primordial spirit beasts, will there be trouble? He Zhenjiang was also shocked in his heart, but his concern was also genuine. You don't have to worry about that. Supreme Fifth Spirit Senior already knew that we have so many ancient spirit beasts. They know. Yes. Sima Zhiyuan nodded. Little Lucky had been following Sima Yuyu the entire time, and Supreme Fifth Spirit Senior had naturally been paying attention to their situation. He had long known about the Sima clan's contract with the ancient spirit beasts, but he didn't say anything. I heard that the ancient spirit beasts sent many gifts to Paramount Valley's Valley Lord's wedding. They said that they were for Yue. Is she on good terms with the ancient spirit beasts? Someone asked. Yue and Supreme Fifth Spirit Senior have nothing to do with each other, but his son likes her and often stays by her side. Sima Zhiyuan said. Everyone looked up and saw Little Lucky, who had come out of the spirit pagoda and was lying on Sima Yoyue's head watching the show. Some of the people present had seen Supreme Fifth Spirit Senior before. Now that they saw the miniature version of Supreme Fifth Spirit Senior, they were very surprised. However, they did not feel the power of a contract from him. He didn't contract with Yue, right? No, he is Supreme Fifth Spirit Senior's only son. How would we dare to contract with him? It's just that he likes Yue more, so he sticks to her. When they heard this, everyone had different thoughts. However, their understanding of Sima Yue had increased by another level. She had contracted so many ancient spirit beasts, and he did not pursue the matter. There was no one else who could have such a good relationship with ancient spirit beasts. Why didn't they have such a relationship? The news of the Sima family having ancient spirit beasts had never been made public, so no one knew about it. The black-robed men were not prepared for this sudden turn of events. The situation was almost one-sided. The black-robed men, Yu family and Green Spirit sect were not able to touch the Sima family. Instead, they were almost annihilated by the Sima family. Don't think that you can escape this calamity just because you have these. The leader of the black-robed men took out a signal and sent it out. Then he sneered. No matter what, you can't escape death today. When he spoke, his gaze was fixed on Sima Yue. His eyes were filled with killing intent, as if he had a deep hatred for her. Sima Yue wouldn't be frightened by a single glance from him, but her heart was filled with curiosity. These people were obviously here for her. But she didn't know which group it was? Damn, she had unknowingly made so many enemies. Not long after that person sent out the signal, there was another movement in the space. This time, there were not many people who came out. There were only a dozen of them, but it made everyone's expression change. These people were all Paragon-ranked experts. This time, even Sima Lu Yun and the others frowned. Sima Zhiyuan wanted to come up, but Sima Yue turned around and smiled at him. Great-grandfather, today is your birthday banquet. How can you leave the guests alone? Just leave these people to us. Why do we need you to come out? Sima Zhiyuan knew Sima Yoyue's trump card. After thinking about it, he did not move and called out to the guests. Come, everyone continue to eat. Seeing that they were so calm, the guests smiled and went back to eating and drinking. After Sima Yue finished speaking, she came to Sima Lu Xian and the others. Looking at the black-robed men who came out, she said impatiently, Do you still have a backup plan? If you do, call them all. This time, even if you don't find it troublesome, we do. Who dares to be disrespectful to my master? Just as she finished speaking, a group of people rushed over from all directions. Chapter 1685. The onlookers thought that more people were coming. When they turned around, they realized that they were all transformed spirit beasts. Young miss, we're here. An old man grinned as he ran to Sima Yu's side and bowed respectfully. Why did you all come out? Sima Yue looked at these people, oh no, birds, and asked. Their agreement was not to come out without her order, right? These evildoers are too boring. One of them will come in a while. We are worried about young Miss' safety, so we came to exterminate them. The old man laughed. Exterminate them? Did you see their strength clearly? Sima Yue asked in amusement. The old man was stunned. They did not notice the strength of these people just now. They only saw groups of people coming and were worried about Sima Yue's safety, so they ran over. It didn't matter if he didn't look, but when he did, he was still shocked. Why are there so many high-level Paragon experts? This old man was also a high Paragon, but the others weren't. There were only 4 or 5 bird race members, and the others were still a bit weaker. They did not expect the other party to send so many people to deal with Sima Yue. People of the bird clan, it's best that you don't interfere in today's matters. Although your bird clan is powerful, distant water can't quench your present thirst. You'd better stay at the side. Humph, you dare to make a move on young miss? You must have eaten a bear's heart and a leopard's gall. Aren't you afraid of my bird race's revenge? The old man shouted. Now that she's dead, can you birds still unite? Besides, you can't find out who we are, so who are you going to take revenge on? The man laughed sinisterly. Your bird clan is indeed powerful, but the only thing you're lacking is that you didn't bring your elders with you today. Even if that's the case, you won't be able to touch a single strand of her hair today. The old man was no longer smiling as he stood in front of Sima Yue with a serious expression. Sigh. I never thought that Crimson Flame would one day become the reason why you want to kill me. Do you want the bird race to be in chaos, so that the world will be in chaos? Let me think, who is behind you? Northern Du clan? Or the Eastern Lai clan? Or the Ouyang clan? Oh, it shouldn't be the Xianqiu clan, right? Humph, you won't be able to guess our identities. If I go to hell, I might be able to guess a thing or two. Sima Yue sighed again and said, It seems like I won't be able to get anything out of him today. Aunt Xiang, I'll have to trouble you again. As soon as she finished speaking, the door to the little realm opened, and Feng Xiang and the others appeared. Feng people's people. The other party recognized Feng Xiang and the others at a glance. Why are you so surprised? Don't you know what happened in the Lost Land? Don't you know that my family's Yue is the young miss of the Feng people? Sima Lu Feng clicked his tongue inside. Even so, you still dare to come and seek death. You really have guts. Aunt Xiang, I'll have to trouble you to clean up these people. Sima Yue said to Feng Xiang, Today is great-grandfather's birthday. Aunt Xiang, you guys end this quickly. Don't let the guests see you as a joke. Yes, Mississippi, 2 of the Feng people's people stayed by Sima Yue's side to guard, while the others attacked those men in black. Those pitiful men in black. They just came and didn't even have the chance to show off before they were taken to the air by the Feng people to be cleaned up. The remaining people were handed over to the cloud guards. Sima Yue pulled Xiaoxi down from the head and stood beside Sima Lu Xian, watching those people fight. Very quickly, those people were subdued and all of them were taken away. As for those people who were dragged away by the Feng people to fight, their lives were left in the air, and none of them returned. From the beginning to the end, the Sima family's people were Sima Lu Xian's generation and Sima Yue's generation. These people weren't worthy of the higher-ups of the family to come out. When the battle ended, the banquet was almost over, and the guests left one after another. And the news of the Sima family's incident that day spread quickly. After that, there was a lot of news that other than ancient spirit beasts, the Sima family also had many rare elixirs. They also won a certain elixir competition, and it was said that they recently found another mineral vein. Later on, the Sima family's actions became more high-profile, and gradually performed well in alchemy, arrays, spirit-seeking and other aspects. At this time, everyone discovered that the Sima family had quietly risen. I didn't expect the Sima family to hide the news so tightly in the past. It's only been a few years, and their strength has increased so much. I don't know how powerful they will be in the future. He Zhenjiang went back and heard the news, and he was very emotional. When the incident with the Jiang family happened that year, the Sima family was just an inconspicuous family. I didn't expect them to become so powerful in just a few years. Su Lunyan was also very emotional. Madam, did you notice that these are all external conditions? The Sima family hasn't been rising for a long time, so their strength didn't increase much. They are so powerful now because of the accumulation of external conditions. He Zhenzhong said. You're right, but with these external conditions added together, their overall strength is very strong. In time, their internal strength will increase, and they will be a famous sect in the future. Su Lunyan replied. And all of this was brought by Yu Yu. It would be great if we also had such a powerful junior. Sister, you said that the changes in the Sima family were brought by Sima Yue. When Su Yang spoke to his sister, the hostility on his body lessened. Yes. Su Lunyan talked about the situation of the Sima family. Although the Sima family was very low-key these years, there were some changes. The He family was close to them, and they paid more attention to the Sima family, so they knew about these small changes. They knew that the Sima family was getting stronger, but they didn't expect that when they showed their trump card, it would be so shocking. This Sima Yoyue's luck is really good. Su Yu's words were still a little envious. Sai, this is not a good thing. Su Yang said. Sai. He Zhenzhong and Su Lunyan sighed. Only Su Yu didn't know why the three of them were frowning. Other than them, the others were also talking about the Sima family, their ancient spirit beasts, their ancient pills and so on. For a moment, the Sima family's name could be heard in the streets and alleys. As for the Sima family, after Sima Ji Yuan's birthday, those who came back to wish him a happy birthday left one after another, and the family returned to how it was before. However, it seemed to be a little different. In Sima Yoyue's words, these guys were all smiling now, and they were in good spirits. After sending the guests away, Sima Ji Yuan brought Sima Yue to interrogate those people who were caught that day. Originally, Sima Yue didn't have to go, but Sima Ji Yuan still called her. At that time, it would be more effective than any other method to probe her divine sense. Chapter 1686. However, Sima Yue did not have much hope. If those people really understood her, they would know that she could use spiritual consciousness. Moreover, judging from the fearless looks of those people before, they should have come prepared. Based on the careful style of those men in black, they would not leave any traces behind. As expected, Sima Yue had discovered restrictions in their sea of consciousness. If she tried to break through them forcefully, their sea of consciousness would shatter. Not only that, as long as they wanted to confess, they would die. There was no way to break the spell. Therefore, after some effort, they did not receive any news at all. Actually, it's not like we didn't gain anything. Sima Hishun said when he saw that Sima Ji Yuan was very angry. Old fellow, what did you think of? Sima Ji Yuan asked. We're all aware of the 16 states Yu clan's strength, and these black-clothed men are far above them. They must be very powerful to be able to bring out so many high-level ultimate gods at once. To be able to possess these things, it was definitely much better than the Yu clan. I think that other than the hidden clans, no one else would have such a large expenditure. Sima Hishun analyzed. Great uncle, do you think Northern Du family did this? Sima Yue asked. The Yu clan might have been set up by the Northern Du clan, but those black-clothed men shouldn't be. Sima Hishun said. This black-clothed man intends to use you to cause unrest in the Bird clan. I'm afraid that there are even more unknown motives behind it. What about the Donglai clan? I have some enmity with the Eastern Lai clan. This way, I can kill two birds with one stone. The Donglai clan is possible, and so are the other hidden clans. Sima Hishun said. However, now that they know that you have Feng people protecting you, they won't dare to do anything to you. I hope they'll come. At least we'll be able to get some clues. Sima Yue sighed. Oh yeah, I think something's going on with the Yin clan. How so? Sima Yue told her about her discovery of the hidden clan's unusual behavior on the Lost Island. She then shared her conjecture. Eastern Lily hates Northern Du Hao very much. However, she got engaged not long after, and was so high profile during the Crimson Pearl Convention. So I guess that they had some kind of purpose, but I ruined it in the end. I think so. If that is the case, they must think that you are their nemesis. Sima Hishun rarely teased her. Don't you have a good relationship with the young master of the Xianqiu clan? Why don't you ask him? Sima Ji Yuan said. Last time, we parted on bad terms with the Xianqiu clan. Now, I don't even know if he's willing to see me. Moreover, Regarding the black-clothed men, I wouldn't have suspected the Xianqiu clan in the past. However, judging from the previous incident, the Xianqiu clan might not be involved. If we look for him rashly, we might alert him. Sima Yue had mixed feelings when she thought of Xianqiu He. Then let us investigate this matter, Sima Zhiyuan said. All right, I'll go out for a walk and see if I can get any information. If you want to go out for a walk, then I'll leave this matter to you. Sima Zhiyuan took out an invitation and handed it to her. Sima Yue opened it and took a look. It was an invitation from the 5th Province's Yuan clan, saying that they were inviting geniuses from various industries to gather and discuss. This kind of gathering happened frequently in this continent. However, they would usually invite people they were familiar with or those with outstanding talents. In the past, the Sima family would not be invited. However, everyone knew that the Sima family had risen up, and they had a genius like Sima Yue. That was why they sent the invitation. 5th Province's Yuan clan? Sima Yue looked at the person who signed the invitation with a deep gaze. Why? What's wrong with the Yuan clan? Sima Hishun asked. Take a look at this. Sima Yue took out a stack of information and handed it to them. This is the information that I asked the Xian Yuan Pavilion to investigate. The Yuan clan was involved in poisoning your mother? Sima Zhiyuan and the others were shocked when they saw it. She actually asked people to investigate this information. Was she planning to take revenge for her mother? I won't let go of what happened back then. I will repay whoever treats my mother well. I won't let anyone who poisoned my mother off either. Sima Yue said faintly. Sima Zhiyuan returned the information to her and said, If you want to do it, then do it. Anyway, you don't have to think so much now. They had no reason to stop her from taking revenge for her mother. Furthermore, she had the right to do so now. Are you letting your father go with you? Sima Hishun asked. No. I'll go alone. Sima Yue shook her head. Those people know my father and some of them have grudges against each other. He won't be able to clear them up if he goes. If anything happens to Gunyanji, I won't be able to take action. Was this fellow planning to destroy their nest? Cough cough, for some things it's better to find the person involved. It's not the family's fault. Sima Hishun reminded. I know. Sima Yue said. If the family is not involved in this matter, I won't kill the innocent. I'm not a bloodthirsty person. Yue has always done things appropriately. Old man, you love to talk too much. Sima Zhiyuan snorted. Although you have the phone people by your side, you should bring some of the cloud guards with you. Have fun when you're out. We'll investigate the other things. If there's any news, we'll pass it to you. Sima Yue felt Sima Zhiyuan's protection. The corners of her mouth rose and she replied, Okay. After leaving the interrogation place, she went to find Sima Luxian and told him that she was leaving. I'll go with you, Sima Luxian requested without thinking. Father, great-grandfather said that he wants you to investigate the undead and the black-robed men. Sima Yue said. Those people want to kill me. If this matter isn't solved, I'll be watched wherever I go. Thinking that someone wants to kill me all the time, this feeling. Okay, I'll investigate. But you have to promise me that if you go to the ghost realm, you must bring me along. Sima Luxian patted her head. Okay. Don't worry, the person mother wants to see the most is you. How can I not bring you along? Sima Yue smiled and ran away. This girl. Sima Luxian smiled. If she wants to do it, then do it. Young master, what does young miss want to do? The servant behind Sima Luxian asked. Didn't you say that the people invited this time were from the Yuan family? At that time, I also suspected that young Miss Yuan poisoned Kaluo. If she just went like this, I wouldn't think anything. But if she doesn't let me go now, I'm afraid that this girl. Sima Luxian's eyes were filled with affection. But she can do whatever she wants. Get someone to keep an eye on her. If there's anything, immediately pass it back. As long as it doesn't endanger her life, let her play as she pleases. He had to say that no one knew his son better than his father. Yes, young master. The servant replied from behind. She's right. If the undead and the black-robed men's matter is not solved, she won't be safe. You go and do your work. I'll go and discuss with Feng Zhixing. Sima Lu Xian disappeared after he finished speaking. Chapter 1687. For the sake of convenience, Sima Yue placed all the members of the Cloud Guards in the Little Realm, and set off alone. That day, she had opened her little world in front of everyone's eyes. Now everyone knew that she had a little world, and there were experts in the little world. Seeing that she was alone, no one dared to bully her. The spaceship heading to the 5th continent was in another city. When Sima Yue took the teleportation array there, she happened to meet the spaceship that would be coming over that day. This place was not very far from Chongzhou City. Sima Yue's name had already spread throughout this place. When everyone saw her, they would greet her warmly. That enthusiasm made even the maids on the spatial ship look at her a few more times. Sima Yue was at the back of the group. She saw that the people in front of her were all given 20,000 upper-grade crystals each. When it was her turn, she also took out 20,000 crystals and handed it to the maid in exchange for a sect. Are you Sima Yue? The servant girl suddenly asked after she received the sect. Yes. What's the matter? Sima Yue stopped. I'm fine. It's just that I've heard about your deeds recently, and I'm a little curious. The maid replied. Sima Yue nodded at her and went to her room. Every room here would have a clean bed, but she still took out her own small couch and placed it on the ground. Then, she laid down on it and touched the devil's snare bracelet on her left wrist with her right hand. This guy hasn't sent back any news for a long time. I wonder how the situation is in the devil realm. Feng said that the demon realm is also in chaos right now. This guy's situation is definitely not optimistic. Otherwise he would have sent me a message. Her heart sank slightly. I wonder if I can find him in the demon realm. You want to go to the devil realm? What was the demon realm like? When are we going to the demon world? Little Lucky was lying on top of her head and playing with her hair. When he heard her say this, he asked curiously. I'm just thinking about it now. If even Ling Yu couldn't handle it, with my strength, I would only be a burden. Sima Yue said. And if we go there without contacting them, not only will we not be able to find them, we might even lose our lives there. Besides, I can't leave now. But you miss him a lot. Little Lucky stared at her with his round eyes. Since the matter of the undead hasn't been resolved, I can leave without worry. Sima Yue sighed. Mother's matter hasn't been settled yet. If I stay here for too long, she will suffer more over there. I'm more worried that father and the others won't be able to wait, and will run to the ghost realm by themselves. You worry too much. Xiaoxi tugged at her hair. You're so tired. It's much better now. There aren't as many things as before. These things should be dealt with one by one. Right now the most important thing is to take revenge for my mother. If those people hadn't poisoned my mother and made me consume their spiritual power when I was born, they wouldn't have been so passive. Well, those who covet Uncle Lu Xian are all bad people. Little Lucky will help you beat up the bad guys. Little Lucky said as he patted his chest. Sima Yue reached out and poked Little Lucky's head. Your father has been so busy recently. Don't you want to go back and share his burden? Father has so many people by his side. Now he's found so many spirit beasts of the same generation. He doesn't need me. It's more fun for me to follow you. Little Lucky wasn't interested in ancient spirit beasts and didn't plan on taking over his father's job in the future, so he didn't want to go back at all. Sima Yue smiled and didn't rush him. He was still young anyway. It didn't matter if he didn't participate in those things now. I want to eat spirit fruits. Little Lucky let go of her hair and climbed onto her stomach. Sima Yue took out a plate of spirit fruits, and he carried it to the side to eat. Seeing him eat the spirit fruits without any worries, she smiled faintly. This smile was filled with affection, helplessness, and a little worry. After that, she spent most of her time in the house and rarely went outside. Until someone knocked on her door. She was reading in the house and felt a little strange when she heard the knock on the door. Why was there someone looking for her now? She put down her book and opened the door. When she saw the person standing outside, she was stunned. It's you? In Susu smiled at her and said. I heard that you were here, so I came over. I didn't disturb you, did I? No, you didn't. Please come in. Sima Yue moved to the side to let In Susu in. In Susu smiled and entered the house. When she saw the book on the table, she said, "Were you reading just now?" Yes. Sima Yue closed the door and poured her a cup of tea. Miss In, why are you here? You and my uncle call each other brother and sister. You're one generation older than me. You can just call me Susu. I'll call you Yue. How about that? In Susu asked. Of course. Sima Yue agreed. How is In Lang now? How else can he be? He's the same as always. He's holed up in Tangerine City. His family wants him to go back, but he won't even meet them. His family can't do anything about it. In Susu's voice was filled with helplessness when she talked about her willful uncle. Oh right, are you going to the 5th state to attend the Yuan family's invitation? Yes. You too? I'm not. I just happen to have something to do in the 5th state, so I can go with you. In Susu said. The Yuan family loves to hold these kinds of gatherings. It's so boring. If you feel bored, you can come find me. You don't seem to like the Yuan family? Sima Yue asked. In Susu didn't expect her to notice it so quickly. She smiled a little embarrassedly and said, The Yuan family is all right. I just don't like the young ladies of the Yuan family. What's wrong with those young ladies? They're just arrogant and look down on others. They like to suppress those who are lower in status than them. When they see those who are more talented than them, they get so angry that their noses become crooked. They're like peacocks all day and like to have a bunch of men around them. In Susu was familiar with Sima Yue, so she spoke more casually. PFFF. Sima Yue laughed. They bullied you too? Not really. Although my family is in the 49th state, our status is about the same as theirs. They don't dare to bully me. I've only met them a few times. In Susu said. Speaking of which, the eldest of them even had fantasies about your father. Really? Yes, I was there at that time too. I happened to see her pestering your father. This young lady Yuan usually looks cold and aloof, as if she's different from her sisters. However, she's still the same deep down. I heard that she had a good relationship with your mother. However, when something happened to them, she didn't even go to see them, much less help. In Susu said. Sima Yue was shocked. She didn't expect In Susu to know about her parents. Susu, what else do you know? Can you tell me? Chapter 1688. Sima Yue thought that In Susu would know a lot of things, but she shook her head and said, I only know this because I happened to see them. However, I didn't like the Yuan family, so I didn't pay attention to them. This time, I heard that you were going to the Yuan clan. Thinking about how you saved my life last time, I decided to give you a heads up. Sima Yue was a little disappointed, but she soon recovered and chatted with In Susu about other things. Half an hour later, In Susu stood up to leave. Before she left, she took out a jade pendant and placed it in Sima Yue's hand. This is the symbol of our In family. If you encounter any difficulties in the 5th state, you can use this to find our people. If you need anything, you can ask them to do it. In Susu said. Sima Yue wanted to reject the gift. She wasn't close to In Susu, so it wasn't appropriate for her to accept the gift. I know you have the Xianyuan Pavilion behind you, but the Xianyuan Pavilion may not be able to help you all the time. Who knows, it might come in handy when we miss something. In Susu opened the door and left before Sima Yue could refuse. Sima Yue lowered her head and looked at the jade pendant in her hand. She sighed, kept it, and went to lock the door. The reason why In Su had always told him these things and left him such an escape route was because he had saved her and some of the In family's people back then. For people like them, even if they owed someone a favor, they wouldn't bite the hand that fed them like Eastern Lai Li. However, he didn't like owing people either. If accepting it could make her feel at ease, then he would accept it. In the following days, In Susu did not come to Sima Yue again. Sima Yue was also happy to be idle. She read in her room until a maid came to inform her that she had arrived. She packed her things and went out. She found that many people were already waiting on the deck. She looked around and didn't see In Susu. Miss, she has already disembarked from the ship. The maid seemed to understand what she was thinking and said. Sima Yue was shocked and asked, "This spatial ship belongs to the In family?" "Yes." The maid smiled and said, "Young Miss has instructed that in the future, you don't have to pay to ride the spatial ship." With that, she returned the money she had taken from her. Sima Yue finally understood. No wonder In Susu knew that she was on the boat after she came up. It turned out that this belonged to her family. The spatial ship that In Lang had helped him to comprehend previously also belonged to the In clan. This one was also from the In clan. This In clan was indeed powerful and wealthy. He handed over the door plate and got off the spatial ship. He didn't know anyone around him, so he bought a map of the 5th prefecture at the exit. Although the map was a little expensive, the topography and cities of the 5th state were marked very clearly. There were also some introductions of the forces next to it. Sima Yue looked at the map and recalled the detailed map in her mind. She couldn't help but think of Tuo Xiaogong. He said that the map would be useful in the future, but he also seemed to be saying that she would not return to the Lost Lands. She didn't understand what he meant. If she couldn't figure it out, she wouldn't dwell on it. This was her usual style. She believed that everything would work out when the time came. She didn't know now because the time wasn't right. Curiosity killed the cat. This thought of hers had more or less saved her life several times. She found a quiet place to study the map. She knew that the Yuan clan wasn't far from here. If they used the teleportation array, they would arrive in 2 days. However, the Yuan clan was very cautious. The Kongmar city they were in didn't have a teleportation array. They could only go to a nearby city and go there by themselves. This Yuan clan probably has a lot of enemies. That's why they don't even dare to use the teleportation array. They are afraid that someone will kill their way to the back of their nest. Sima Yue knew that Big Miss Yuan might have poisoned Yukuluo and pestered her father. Her impression of the Yuan clan wasn't good. After knowing the route, she kept the map. She planned to use the teleportation array to get to the vicinity before slowly going there. Anyway, it was still early. She wasn't in a hurry. The city closest to Kongmar City was called Fulai City. It was said that Fulai City was a subsidiary city of Kongmar City. The forces inside all looked up to the Yuan clan. It was similar to how the Guo clan relied on the Tao clan. She went to the Spirit Master Guild and wanted to use the teleportation array. Before she even entered the door, she heard a loud cry. "Woo woo, all of you get lost. Don't touch me. Woo woo." This voice sounded very young. It was probably around 10 years old. However, it was definitely an arrogant and despotic person. "What are you looking at? Look again and I'll let Big Sister dig out your eyes." The child glared at the surrounding people and said fiercely. Sima Yue glanced over and saw a little girl wearing a fan skirt. Her hair was tied in 2 buns. She was sitting on the side of the road. Her eyes were hazy with tears as she stared at the people present. Unfortunately, this person wasn't cute at all. That pair of eyes destroyed her aura. A man recognized the girl. He stepped forward and said, "Shier, why are you here alone? Where are your big sister and the others?" "Big sister and the others ran away," Shia said. Big brother Mui Shier couldn't catch up to them. Woo woo woo. Mui saw that Shier was crying so hard. He stepped forward and sat beside her. He softly coaxed her. His subordinates immediately dismissed the onlookers around them. "You said that your big sister and the others ran away? How could they run away?" "It seems that they saw an old enemy and chased after them," Shier cried. "You guys go and find the Yuan clan's young ladies. When you find them, tell them that Shier is waiting for them here." Muyi ordered his subordinates. Sima Yue was about to enter the Spirit Master Guild when her footsteps stopped. She changed direction and walked towards the opposite tea house. She chose a private room facing the street. When she opened the window, she could see the Spirit Master Guild's entrance and the little girl on the side. The subordinates received the order and immediately left. Soon they disappeared from the street. After a while, a group of girls ran over. When they saw Yuan Shi, they quickened their pace. "Shi, are you okay?" The leading girl hugged Yuan Shi. Second sister, third sister, where did you go? Why did you leave she here alone? Woo woo woo. Yuan Shier loudly complained. It's all because of our negligence. I thought that your third sister would take you. Your third sister thought that you would follow us. I didn't think that you would be here alone. Alright, don't cry. The second daughter of the Yuan clan, Yuan Li, comforted Yuan Shier. That's right. She, don't cry. When we go back, I'll let 18th brother give you his ancient contract beast to play with. How about that? The third daughter of the Yuan clan, Yuan Qing, hugged Yuan Shier and comforted her. Second Miss, third Mississippi Muyi bowed to the two. Many thanks to young Master Muyi for sending people to find us. Otherwise, I don't know how long Shier would have stayed here. Yuan Qing said politely. I just happened to come out. I didn't expect to meet Shier. I'm going to Kongmar City. Do you want to come with me? Yuan Li shook her head. We haven't caught that slut yet. Now she's in the city. We'll go back after we catch her. You're tuning in to the Echoes of the Heart YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.